and the ape stood and became man.
Who is he?
He's an asshole, sir.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
This town needs an enema.
You want to do it again and put on some interracial porn?
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
I know that. What's his name?
Roman Red.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. No way. It's better than yours.
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Then sell fucking Epcot Center! If we can't get people on the rides, then sell the fucking thing! No, I said more Mandalorian!
Not to worry. We are now armed with mighty joint. Mighty joint. Pull out.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
Either I didn't set this at live,
okay,
or my current attempts to have big names come on and build my channel didn't work because I had you on.
Oh, well, I mean, you're lucky to have me on.
I absolutely am. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, it's what time? 7:19 in the morning. Okay. I have the rest of my life today. I got the day off, and it's going to be crazy. Happy Veterans Day, everyone.
Oh, happy Veterans Day. Absolutely. Happy Veterans Day. I should have put that in the description if I was.
Yeah. What a loser, dude.
I'm terrible. I'm so awful at this. I mean, that's why I'm not even at 2,000 subs after 3 years. Like, who's like that? Who does
not
that?
Me. You know, I mean, I only started like 2 weeks after Ryan, and I mean, we're close.
I am seriously going to check and make sure that I have this thing public because there's 2 people now. Then one of them isn't me, but I don't know if one of them's you.
I got a kid right here.
Oh, hey, what's up, kid?
Okay, yeah, go play it.
Guys, thank you so much for being here. Please, both of you, unless one of you is Scott.
Not me, dude. Not me.
Share out the link.
I wouldn't watch you. I wouldn't watch me.
Dude, you guys are just. I've been rushing around. Scotty's going to be in and out because he's a dad. He's a great dad. He's got a new baby out, and so it's just a lot of this is going to be me. And Scott's going to. I am drinking Pale Rider. Hail to you, dude. Good morning. Hail to my international audience, you guys that are showing up. I'm glad that I'm able to live stream in the morning again. Reach out to you. This is coffee drinking and not something degenerate, right? I mean, it's me. It's Walton.
It's degenerate, but it is coffee.
It is. It's coffee and degeneracy is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were drinking Pale Rider. I didn't realize Pale Rider was a person in the chat. Now I got it. I was like, what type of coffee is Pale Rider?
Mm-hmm. No,
I thought it was a liquor.
I am. I'm actually. I'm bougie today. I'm drinking instant coffee.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Very bougie. Someone has to teach you what the word bougie means.
I didn't even I don't have a coffee maker. I don't have a toaster. When I separated with my ex, like everything just stayed. And this got me right. And if by chance she's watching, hi Gara. It's right. So when I first announced that I was leaving, she was really upset for some reason.
She was upset. You sure that's what that emotion was? You know what I mean? You sure that was that emotion? Upset. I can't see that.
All right,
it was probably like
it was a form of upset.
Okay,
it was definitely a form of it. I'm not okay. And so she said, when you leave, you can only take this. Like it was real like bitchy, And I get it. A lot of crazy emotions going on, and it was during the lockdowns. Like everybody's under pressure. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Red? Everybody's under. But she said you can only take this, and this. So when I made the order to move, I only made room for so many things.
Right.
And then 1 week before the movers,
I'm listening.
1 week before the movers came to pick stuff up, Echo Edwin, yours. 1 week before the movers came to pick shit up, she was like, "Oh, you can take this and this and this, and you can have that." And I'm like, "I ain't got the room for it." I don't know. It says women baffle me, Scott, and I'm not coming down on women. Love my ladies out there, but even y'all know, y'all baffle us. Y'all baffle men. I don't.
Baffle is not the word, but I'll go with that.
All right. Well, for me, it is
befuddle.
We went down to one person watching. Thank God. Even Red left. Red Gates came in and said, "Hey, I'm out."
Yeah, he's like, "Wow, this sucks." Well, it is 7-something in the morning, you know.
I thought we had a little more pull than this, Scott.
Not at all, dude. We gave him a 20-minute. You know what? Let me do a quote tweet, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you know, because people like you more than me, really. So please come and watch. Put something. I know you.
I am gonna put something.
To.
I'm just gonna put something.
All right,
and
I'm gonna fucking fight with you.
Cannot get anyone to watch live.
He has more subs and a worse channel.
So sad. Can you please
Red City
and watch us?
See, gays, this is why I love my rogues, at least the ones that are left. I know you won't go no matter what I do. Thank you.
Yeah, you might not. He's embarrassed to be a rogue, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I'm still watching this car wreck.
Well, that's another reason.
Thank you so much. Richie Droop is here. It's a hail and bananas for all four of us. Hey, hell yes, Richie. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Raj said he's here. No, I'm glad that you're here.
Yeah, you know what, dude? Stop worrying about the views and worry about your content. That's what I do. No. I worry about the content. You know, like I worry about how good is this. You just care, who's watching? Like that's the difference between our shows.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like I care about my people, and you just care about how many people are watching. Who cares? Who cares? You know what? These are the best 4 people in the world.
Yes, they are.
And maybe if you cared about people a little bit more and stop being so like Stephen Walton, Fandom Menace historian, you might get somewhere.
I am the Fandom Menace. That means I am somebody. Okay.
Yeah, that means nothing. That means nothing. We laugh about it behind closed doors. Everyone's like, "Oh, here comes that asshole." No, but it means something. I mean, Gary likes you. Gary does.
I don't know why.
I don't either.
Yeah.
But Gary likes me, so he's messed up.
Here's Toxic Man Flu. What's up, man? For $2. Thank you guys so much. That is some world-class bullshit, Scott.
My kid keeps trying to pop in. Just pop your head in and say hi.
Yo, say hi.
There you
go. Hi, sweetheart.
Get out of here.
She's adorable.
Go shut down.
She doesn't believe you.
No, I'm not good at that. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Sorry, I'm coughing so much. Straight up. I just got up. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please smash the like and share the link out. These early streams are kind of raw because I don't have a filter, so I'm going to do my best not to embarrass my friends. Hi, Red. I wanted to get together with Scotty. It's one of the best times to get together with my buddy because he's got a really analytical mind, and he's way more. I've met so many y'all conservatives out there. I've made friends with so many conservatives. I think y'all are bringing me in. I think you're. I don't know. I'm not going to say indoctrinate. I think y'all are pulling me in. I don't know what's going on. But I wanted to talk about the RittenHouse trial today because Nick Ricade is killing it. Let me explain. There's been certain people that I've been watching for years or enjoy the content for years that I've developed relationships with, friendships, or that I'm just simply a fan of. And for the longest time, I didn't shout them out or have them on streams a lot because I didn't want to seem like I was clout chasing. That's a big thing. Like the anti-Fandom Menacers, for those of you that've been around for a while, if you remember the anti-Fandom Menacers and those that are still deranged enough they have Fandom Menace derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
Like Jarbo and Mad Max and those guys.
Yep.
Like they just can't let it go. It's like, what is the Menace now? I mean, it's become something entirely different. It's become...
Yeah, I mean, it's changed. It's changed.
It's totally changed.
Yeah, even if that... Do we even use that anymore, Fandom Menace?
Some people do. Some people... Keely Chow's always in there saying, we do not hail the Fandom Menace. There's always
we are. We're OG Fandom Menace. I like Rogue Fellowship because that's what we are. That's what we created in our own little sphere.
That is absolutely... Yes, it's absolutely what we created. And we did it from like the best spirits of what we learned from the Fandom Menace and what I've seen in Comicsgate, because I have Comicsgate friends, great independent creators out there making great comics, writers. There's just so many people that have work, that have talent in our indie sphere. That's like the only thing I know to call it, because it's really all encompassing. That I'd love to promote. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why one of the functions of Rogue Entertainment is going to be to promote those creators, because along with promotion, and if you're a youth, and this goes for like if you're a YouTuber, if you're a writer, if you're a musician, if you're whatever, there are egos abound, and some of those egos want to control you or control their power over people, and they use that as leverage, and they'll go to any lengths to maintain that illusion of control or that image of control. I don't want that. I don't think that's something. I don't think that's like a founding principle of what TFM was, at least in my opinion. Fandom Menace was a group of individuals standing up for themselves for kind of different reasons. I mean, and at least the way that I see it, and that's a generalization. But I really think it had a good spirit to it at first, a really good spirit, and I want to maintain that with Rogue.
Well, you know what the spirit was? Yeah, it had a great spirit at first, and then truthfully, a lot of us jumped in, and I'm not saying we were part of the turn to negativity. What I'm saying is a lot of people jumped in and thought automatically they should be as popular as the bigger channels. And then when some people started to grow, they got upset, and it got toxic with some people. Some people get jealousy is truly ugly. It really is. Like, look, I want my channel to grow. Will it? I don't know. It's growing slowly. It may never get to where some people, like, my goal was, if I could hit 10K, I'd be like the happiest dude in the world. Yeah, dig it. If I get anything beyond that, it's cheddar after that. But there are people that truly will get upset. It's human. Look, every great idea, humans come in and destroy it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And it's a damn shame, because it was something beautiful when it all started. Hey, Arwen Avalon is a up-and-comer who's killing it right now. Love to see her. That person right there is truly a bright light in our community. So please support her, everybody she's with. I caught a little bit of the Heiress of Chaos stream, celebration stream. She had 500 subs. Congratulations to her. Had a lot of cool people on there. Saw our boy Fast Steven. Mary Mayhem was up there. Arwen, a lot of good people in the community. Hail to them. I want to see everybody grow. Hail to y'all. It's one of the, I think that good karma and positivity is something that I want to keep going as long as I can. Keep that going as long as I can. Oh, you do what you gotta do, Dad. That's sexy. I want one. Yeah, I want one of those. I just want to, and people like Arwen coming into the community, like, we've attracted so many good people. We've attracted people that are doing well. Red Gaze is killing it. Red Gaze is doing great right now. I haven't even been able to open my Sunsworn Wings of Vengeance yet, because we have to do it on the Bonds closing out stream this weekend. Coming up after Rogue Entertainment, we got Comics Division on Rogue. Scotty, I hope you can make that one. I'll try to get all the Dick's Division on there. Try to get 32 Flavors. Nick Wise, we're going to have Brightest Day on there. Another great dude, up and comer, Zach, a great person in our community. His channel is going to be fire. And that's the thing. Like, when I came
what
up,
are we talking about?
Zach, Brightest Day.
Oh, Brightest Day is great, dude.
Yeah.
Do you know Brightest Day and I work at the same company and we had no clue?
Yeah.
That is what kills me. That the weird things that happen. He found me through culture, and I don't know how we just started talking about vaccines and stuff, and we realized we work for the same company, just in one town away.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that crazy? Because you never know who you're going to meet. You never know who's watching you. Oh, another thing, guys, if you're a content creator out there, you never know who's watching. People just lurk streams. Wes Moody had Vic Mignogna come on his stream last week, because he's been doing trekking on Tuesdays and covering the Vic series, the series that Vic was involved with. It's like it's like the original Trek. And he was watching. He showed up and jumped on that stream with those guys. I'm so proud of Wes Moody. He's a great person. We got good people in the community like Toxic Man Flu. Conservatives can be just as bad as liberals. I lived through the 80s and the 90s, so I know individual freedom, civil liberties, and body autonomy are universal concepts that transcend political ideology. Well said. Well said. Not only one of the best people in our community, one of the smartest, man. Yes, well said, Tox. I mean, I'm a liberal pagan from, I've said this before, I'm a liberal pagan from Philly. The conservative Christians were my natural enemies, I guess you would say. And it wasn't until I got older and learned how to talk with people and actually opened my mind while I thought that I was open-minded and started exchanging ideas and realized that, we're all pretty much the same You know, we pretty much got the same values. Another thing I learned from TFM and met the different types of people that I have on this journey, on this YouTube journey, has been the ability to speak with different people, get different perspectives, and learn from them. You know, you learn about yourself in that way.
That's kind of like if you watch Brand, I forget his first name right now off the top of my head because my kid's trying to take pictures of us. You got it backwards. You want me to take a picture of you? Okay, hold on one second.
You know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
But Brand, what's his name? The guy, I always talk about him. Oh my God, he's a YouTuber.
It's so early in the morning, dude. My brain is mush.
Anyways, he's a YouTuber that was uber left, like celebrity left, because he's a celebrity. And now he has been on a journey for the last 2 years of talking to different people, learning different things. And you would say he's more of a libertarian, somewhere in the middle, realizing the BS of what the left has been feeding people for decades.
Yeah.
You know, they're really good. They're really good. I was a left. I was a classic liberal. Until I realized that if you didn't agree with them, you weren't part of the cool kids. And what blows my mind about that is that's what I always thought the left was about when I was a kid. Like, you could be your own individual person, and that's not the truth anymore. The left has gone so far left. They don't believe in individualism anymore, and it's kind of sad.
It really is socialism. Everyone's got to be uniform and like you're right. That's how I was when I was younger. Like, that's what we were fighting. When I would argue with conservatives, it was like, what do you want us all processed in uniform coming out of a machine? Like that's not what we want.
Right.
And now it's the left that's doing that, which really opened my eyes to the fact that the right and the left pretty much the same.
At times they are. Yeah, you know? There's just little differences.
Yeah.
Because in today's day, the conservatives want smaller government, less regulations, meaning like they must not care about the environment and they don't care about you. No, look, your state is supposed to really kind of point you in the direction of how they want to run this country. And the federal government is loosely to hold them together on important issues and interstate issues. And we've gotten to a place in the last 100 years where that's not the truth anymore. You know, states are no longer that free entity. And once, you know, you got Trump in, he allowed the states to be what they are supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah,
They're supposed to govern their people.
He could have brought the hammer down and made national mandates and all that. He didn't, and that's one of the things that I liked about Trump was that he let the states deal with issues the way they wanted to deal with them.
Right,
and he was a constitutionalist in a lot of the ways that he presented.
A lot of ways. Well, you need a constitutionalist, man. You need this. This country is a constitutional republic. It's not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. And it's Russell Brand. I couldn't remember his name there for a minute. Russell Brand's journey on YouTube has been really interesting watch. I hated the guy at the beginning because he was that far left dude, but he learned. You know, like Joe Rogan, the last 10 years has spoke to so many interesting and smart people in their fields that he's learned. And now what do they want? They want to destroy him and call him a whack job, you know, hate monger, even though he talks to anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
Joe Rogan podcast is one of my favorites up until I left YouTube.
I still watch him on Spotify.
You know who I'm really starting to like? Crowder.
I love Crowder. I'm a mug clubber.
I know you are. I know you love the guy. I haven't really been invested or involved in that sector, but I'm really. What really got to me was the videos he was sharing out of the RittenHouse trial yesterday and the statements he was making. Real quick, let me say, Toxic Man Food for $5. While you are both having this existential discussion, I want you to know I am talking. Why morning dump?
Yeah, I mean, brother. A morning dump. Dude, if I ever get famous enough, there will be dumps all day.
He will take dumps all over.
There'll be dumps every day, every minute. Like we'll have a morning hot dump. We'll have we'll have dumps all day.
Let me tell you, I love this man right here. I love this man. One of the things about saying like I'm the most honest guy or I'm the realest guy, whatever the fuck it is I say, is that you surround yourself with honest people, and this dude is honest to a fault. Tell you about yourself if you need to be told. And the way that he deflects things, Scotty. When we pointed out the booger in that video, and you said, "I'm going to monetize that booger," I was dead.
Dude, come on, you know. And And you know what kills me is Cultured saw it and he knew there was a booger. So what does he do? He zooms in on my face. He's like, oh, let's just make the booger look bigger. That son of a bitch was trying to destroy me and I won't let it happen.
Scott was so, because the way that he handled, I know he was embarrassed. He was so embarrassed, but he covered it by like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to monetize that booger. Like he just turned it around. That is what positive people do. Like that's what progressive people do. Like really like one of the people that try to take anything and turn it into a positive in life does. And Scotty's great, dude. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you, Tux. Yeah, but I've been watching the clips from Crowder and some of the things he's been saying. I wish I had him brought up. The production value today is just going to be us bullshitting, guys. I'll bring up what I can where I can. But some of the points he was making was really was just real talk. And as far as what Kyle Rittenhouse has gone through, from beginning to end, from when he had to defend his life to this trial, and those prosecutors are that prosecutor. What's his name? Binger, something. He's I don't know what I want to say the R word. I'm actually trying to monetize this live stream. He would ask the same question 50 times just to try and shape a narrative around this kid. This young man, I guess he's not a kid anymore, but this young man, desperately attempting, even to the point where the judge was calling him out. And that defense was way too lax. That defense is way too lax with him. What do you mean? Rittenhouse's defense. I don't feel like they were allowing him to deal with the situation to show maturity, which I understand. Yeah. Allow the witness to show his level of maturity at his age, but at the same time, like that prosecutor was just doing things that he shouldn't have been allowed to do.
And I'm with you on that. But that prosecutor, that prosecutor lost it in the opening remarks. Yeah. He pretty much admitted to everything. If you watch the opening remarks, it's like, yeah, there was riots, and yeah, that guy shouldn't have been there, and yeah, he wasn't trying to murder people. Like, they literally threw away the case just to say he may have killed somebody. The kid had all the right, like, they admitted he didn't cross state lines with a gun. They admitted he had a right to have a gun.
It's all right.
You can talk.
No.
She won. Good, she won her game.
Yeah, congratulations, kid.
Can you go sit on the couch so we could talk and be very professional? Thank you.
We are professionals here.
God.
This is rogue entertainment.
These people just don't understand how important I am. But I didn't get to watch yesterday's stuff yet, so I'm not up on it completely. But it's surprising that all this stuff went on this last summer. We have videos of people getting kicked almost probably to death in Dallas or in Texas somewhere. I mean, we have videos of people killing other people in these riots. This kid defended himself. He was running away. The way he was able to turn, someone tries to grab his gun. He pulls it back. He goes to shoot. The gun misfires. He unlocks or he bolts it and then shoots this guy in the arm. This kid is a marksman. Like, yeah, the ability to do what he did and not kill everybody there, and because he was scared, is impressive.
He exercised control. I don't know about anybody else in that kind of a hectic situation. You're dealing with a mob.
Yes,
you're dealing with a riotous mob that is driven by a Antifa, domestic terrorist group. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, Black Lives Matter, in my opinion, a racist hate group.
It is. It is. I mean, there's no other. Oh, and it also funds the Democratic Party.
Yeah, right.
Let's not forget about that.
Let's not,
the money does not go. The money does not go to inner city children or families. It goes to Democratic nominees and their parties. And a majority of them are white people that aren't helping you right now. It's disgusting that the left has really good ways of marketing words.
Yeah.
Like, who would ever say Black lives don't matter? You're an idiot if you don't say Black lives matter. But they knew that it would become hyperbolic and it would be a term that we would fight over because some of us would do research and realize it's not about Black lives. Others would get the feeling and understand what that means, Black lives matter. And they would think we're attacking that. and they're really intelligent to keep us against each other. Because if everyone just said stop, let's just look at what's going on, they would realize they would lose everybody. They would lose everybody because not every conservative is a white guy that looks like us. You know what I mean? Like, there are immigrants. You know.
Did you see the post that Jeremy put out yesterday? It was an article saying that it was something why white supremacists support black Republican candidates.
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, I swear to God, I got to look it up. It was an article.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, why whites, right? And I was like, well, I dated a black chick once. Does that make me racist? Like the way that you're right, the way that they spin words.
More of a colonist, maybe.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was hats off. But I was looking at oh God, I fucked myself up. I was but I'm thinking like the way you're absolutely right, the way that they spin words. And this has been going on for years, right? Like I've
decades.
I've said this decades, you're absolutely right. I said this years ago, that I dipped out of politics for the longest time. Barack Obama pissed me off. You know, like I knew kind of what he was, but I knew what he could have been in that first election. And when I voted for him, I was like, all right, can this be the healing now? All right. Yeah. Can this be it? Can we now have a positive black image for, people whose ancestry who came from slavery? Not all black people came from slavery, although the media would definitely love to make you believe that shit. Right.
And not all white people here today's relatives own somebody.
No, my great uncle was a slave. He was an indentured servant. My great uncle, like there were Irish slaves, there were white slaves, and so I look at the landscape of what happened, and this is, I swear to God, it all came from the freaking Last Jedi. That movie was that terrible. The Last Jedi was that terrible that it got me back involved into politics because of the politics and the social beliefs of the people that were going on in Lucasfilm, that Kathleen Kennedy hired, all that stuff, the Phantom Menace story, and all that, and all my whole involvement on YouTube has been because of that. And I think that in itself should be an explanation of why entertainment is important, because entertainment's being used to condition people to change society, like what fucking Sesame Street just did this week.
Oh,
man, that pissed me the fuck off.
I'll be right back. I'm sorry. I got to get them some breakfast. But dude, that to me, Sesame Street, what they did, I mean, if that wasn't an attack at your kids and trying to control them, what else could it be?
Absolutely.
Really? What else could it be?
Absolutely. I'll talk to the chat. I'm going to talk to you guys in the chat for a little bit. Until he gets back, he's got to be a dad. And I love that. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Red Gaze. He's still defending his life. He's absolutely still defending his life. And he's innocent. If we get to a point, guys, where our political dispositions keep us from looking at an event like this with any impartiality, then we're doomed. We're doomed. I don't care who the person is, how they vote, where they come from. I don't give a damn. The facts is what should matter. This kid had excellent control over his weapon. He was defending his life against people that were a mob. They were a mob, racist hate group, social domestic terrorists, mobs. And if you ain't caught on to that, I don't know what to tell you. There could be an argument for, I guess there could be an argument for what BLM was supposed to mean when it started, or what. I guess we can have that conversation if someone really wants to. But as far as the riots, the destruction, the domestic terrorism, that's a racist hate group. Antifa, there ain't nothing good about Antifa. Ain't a damn thing good about Antifa. They are domestic terrorists. They are being controlled. They are the weapon of globalists. These organizations are political tools to scare the shit out of you. And they were all upset. Look, it's like I'm not even a Trumper per se. I didn't vote for Trump. Voted for him in 2020 when they used it to steal the election. But for the years building up to that, like if you can't sit back, at least people in future years who may revisit these times and look at the facts of the matter, the events that took place. If you can't see that for whatever reason he got in office, I mean, people voted for him, he got in office, and it upset the system. It completely destabilized the system. Whatever grand scheme system or, whatever plans were made, whether you believe in, a globalist agenda or whether you just believe in people in politics wanting to control a political landscape, he upset the entire system. And the backlash to that was one of the most isolated presidents, one of the most attacked presidents from within our own government that we've ever had, at least in my lifetime. I could be wrong, but in my lifetime, that's how I see it. And that in itself should be a warning sign. The government don't really care about you or me. Those leftists definitely don't. And I'm not saying I'm putting all my faith in the Republicans. They ain't stood up for us. They ain't, it's not, a lot of them ain't stood up for us. A lot of them didn't stand up for Trump. But if you can't, but this government, especially this administration and the puppets, the meat puppets that are dancing around it, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. They literally used, whether you believe that the coup was real or is real or not, whatever you take on it is, they used that to create fear in our population, to destabilize us, to make us more dependent on the government, to make Pfizer rich, to create instability, to further divide us, because it wasn't working fast enough with the global warming thing, although that's making a comeback now from what I see. Now there's some kind of global warming, mental freaking health something, or I don't freaking know. This, God, it's a mess. The government's been trying to keep us divided for I don't know how long. As far as I've been paying attention, it's been a coordinated effort across several spheres: social media, entertainments, politics, for years now. That's what I'm standing up against. That's what a lot of us are standing up against. It's not just a culture war. It's a war for the human heart, human spirit, for independence, freedom, for our ability to be ourselves, to think for ourselves, take our own actions, have our own autonomy. It's more than a culture war. It's more than a spiritual. It has to do with who we are as people. That's why I do what I do. That's why I continue to do what I do. I will shake hands with my enemy if we have the common goal of making sure that we both have the right to speak. And that's what I'll do. Yeah, Red DC is definitely defending his life. Let's see. Toxic Man Flu says culture, like his weave, is fake. Love Culture Casino, guys. Subscribe to Culture. And if you have not, subscribe to Sporking News Podcast. Link in the description below. All my rogues. Link in the description below. One of the best teams of people that I've ever had the pleasure of working with. There's Liam at Conquest Comments. Hey, lads, listening while I'm at work. Hey, man, call a little bit of your live stream earlier. Thank you so much. We got to get together and hang out sometime, dude. That is a real motherfucker right there, man. That's a real dude out there. Rogue Disney showed up, and he's like, howdy, y'all. What's going on? Howdy. Good to see you, Phil Team NT. Hail to you, brother. Williams says, if there is a super soldier program out there, I nominate RittenHouse for Captain America. Why not? Can we get some memes? Richie says he exercised brilliant trigger control. Absolutely. I don't know how I would have been able to do it. I would have done the best I could do. You would have done the best you could do. Any of us would in that situation. He could have easily been swarmed and overtaken and killed. That was the fear of his life, because you are dealing with a mob, a hate mob that have a proven track record of destruction, complete disregard for people, their things, property, for the social order, for everything around us. Look, protesting, I'm all for. Sometimes we got to stand up and make our voice heard. But the people that were behind, in my opinion, the people that are behind groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter, they don't care about lives. They don't care about neighborhoods. They don't care about growth. They don't care about unity. They are tools of an establishment playing on the inbreds of our society, the mentally insolvent, the emotionally unstable, people who can't think for themselves. They're playing on people's fears. Because you can get the most intelligent person in the world. You press on their fears correctly. You hit that fear button, and you can really F them up. You can have them act irrationally. This past year, I was out of work. Beginning of this year, during the lockdowns and all, I was out of work. I'm worried about my kid who's not going to school and not getting the education he should be getting, not being able to involve in sports. I'm dealing with not being able to see my friends, not being able to see my family. What is really going on with this coof? Is it for real or is it BS? And every day in the news, on YouTube, in social media, fear, 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 fear. That's all of us got. All right? I went ham a few times because the pressure was on me, just like it was on you and everybody else. We all did. And they understand that they can use that weaponized fear to divide us, to control us, to have us act the way they want. Animal Farm, bro. We got to fight against that. We got to stand up. It is so very important for all of us who have channels, all of us who have independent voices, whether you're a podcaster or whether you're a writer, whatever it is that you do, however it is that you bring unity out there. People like Arwen out there shining like a star, like a brilliant point of light amidst the darkness. Whether you're a comic book writer or a artist, no matter whatever it is that you do, it's important that you stick to your morals, stick to your moral high ground, project positivity, project unity. We're all in this thing together, whether we agree or not. That is very important because we have seen for years these forces attempting to divide us. And they have succeeded in a lot of different ways, to the point where they control entire narratives across social media, to where YouTube removed the dislike ratio. I'm going to skip ahead to that real quick until Scotty gets back. We'll talk a little bit more about the RittenHouse trial. But to where YouTube had to remove the dislike ratio because, God forbid, Joe Biden put a video up where he's got 16,000 upvotes and 117,000 downvotes. Because people don't like him. He's mentally insolvent. He's a moron. If you're paying attention, that dude's a moron. And isn't it scary? Isn't it scary that, okay, whether you believe it's just a political landscape or a globalist agenda, isn't it scary that any of those people, no matter what route you take within this topic, would rather have a bumbling, racist, elitist, mentally insolvent man with his finger on the nuclear codes than somebody who wanted to pitch America first, wanted to create unity, wanted to bring business back to the country. God, that's where we're at. That's why it's so important that we keep standing and keep speaking out. And it's not just on a grand scale, guys. Yeah, it'd be great if I had 100,000 subs. It'd be great if I had that. I'd still be speaking the same message, making more money, but I'd still be speaking the same message. But it's down to you. It's down to me. It's everybody. It's all of us on the ground floor. Grassroots movement. That's what we have been. That's what we are. No matter your dispositions or where you come from, all of us got to be speaking same message. We got to stand up for each other, our rights to be individuals. Because they don't care. Frankly, I'm a believer in the globalist agenda. That's where I'm at. I think there's enough facts out there. I think the UN has spit enough, released enough material, or had enough material out there, because they're brazen at this point. These people are brazen. They don't care no more. There's so much information and misinformation and misdirection going on in this world around us that they just don't even care. They'll just throw it out. They'll throw the message out there. Like Tom Hanks throwing a dirty glove out on Instagram. It's what it is. All right, let's talk a little bit more. Red Gaze. Pardon me, I'm sorry. Dude, that kid handled himself better than most servicemen would have. The fact that this even went to trial is disgusting. It is. It's all political. It's all political, Gaze. The entire thing. Gaze, let me know if you want to come in, bro. Let me know. I'll drop you a link if you want to come in. It might be too early for you. But yeah, they went to trial because this is about a political narrative. This is about protecting the weapons, the paramilitary arm of the far left, which used to be the KKK. And now it's BLM and Antifa. You got to protect them. Got to protect that narrative. Got to protect that narrative while the communist who founded BLM has got 6 mansions. He's a freaking multimillionaire now. Right? It's not about money. It's not about it. It's about Black Lives Matter. Sick. The amount of control that man had. That young man, by the way. He was a teenager when this transpired. Not all kids are stupid. We've all done stupid shit. But the amount of control that kid had, absolutely. This is all about a political narrative. This is making sure that we reinforce that Antifa are the good guys while they're burning shit down. BLM are the good guys while they're promoting racism and burning shit down. Now, granted, there are probably people out there who have been fooled into believing that these messages are genuine. Not every BLM protest has led to the destruction of public property or people being attacked. Can't say really the same thing about Antifa. I don't trust the Antifa. They're just complete garbage. Because, you know, like Scott was saying earlier, the message of Black Lives Matter. Yeah, all lives matter. And we got to a point where if you don't say that just Black Lives Matter, you're a racist. And if you say that all lives matter, you're a racist. These are the games that they play. That's why it's important for all of us on the ground level to stay on message, stay united, fight this culture war in whatever little way you can, whether you're just a positive person or whether you're just a person who is producing good comics and good material and treating your fans right and treating your backers right and doing what you got to do, whether you are a podcaster talking about truth, bringing people on to share different perspectives, or whatever it is that you do, stay it. You got to keep on it. Pale Rider says he demonstrated control unlike Walton in the woods. God damn it. People want to derail me with this bullshit. I hate that narrative. I'm a pagan. A little bit of my faith is in Druidism, which has lots to do with woods and trees and shit. Nobody knew that when this whole bullshit started. But
tree fucker.
Yeah, this motherfucker. I hate Scott. So yeah, that makes me a little crazy. And just so that you all know, my girlfriend makes fun of me incessantly about it. She loves you dicks. Fuck you. Rogue One.
Wait a minute. What did you just say? She loves what? What was that?
Ashley gets on my case. Yo, no. She busts my balls and like you would think I would get some respite, Scott. You know, when I'm hanging out with my girl.
No.
Nah, she loves that y'all mess with me.
Dude, my wife makes fun of me all the time about this stuff.
God, thank God. Can you talk for like 3 minutes?
I could try. They're not leaving me alone.
I dig it.
Why did I have so many children? What is wrong with me? Okay, you pee. What is he talking about?
I was talking about BLM, Antifa, and RittenHouse's ability to control himself.
Okay. Namaste, Karen Prime. Yeah, the kid had unbelievable control. There are, even like far left pundits admit there was this one, she admitted she was wrong for assuming Kyle Rittenhouse chased Joseph Rosenbaum, who, if you didn't know, Rosenbaum was a sex offender and just got out of a mental hospital because they want you to believe he was, there for an attempted suicide. Well, he might have been because he was trying to get back into one of his ex's houses and she wouldn't let him in. Like when you start finding out about these people, you realize that Kyle Rittenhouse is a good kid. He's a law-abiding citizen, and these other people were down there to cause havoc, to cause damage, to steal things, to burn things, and all he wanted to do was, save some property. So it blows my mind that they've tried to turn this poor kid, this 17-year-old kid, into a sacrificial lamb for their political agenda. That's what blows my mind.
Yes, and that's what I was saying. Like, and it was as I was telling the chat. From my opinion, and guys, these are all our opinions. That it's all to protect the narrative that Antifa is not a domestic terror group,
right?
BLM is not a racist hate group. Like that's all this is. That's all this is. It's cut and fucking dry. Not only did this kid have excellent control, he was defending his life. He took the shots that were necessary to defend his life, and that was it. And you know what really got me was, oh God, the people that were getting on this kid about breaking down when on the stand, which was a genuine breakdown this kid had. Can you imagine being 17 years old, not being a killer, and having to take life, and all of the pressure around him, the mob style attacks. I mean, the mob mentality attacks from social media, from far leftists, from leftists who back that shit up. It's sickening. The pressure that this freaking young man has been under is unbelievable. To defend his life, he was out there defending property from from rioters and looters. All right, animals. I'm gonna say it, animals. Mentally ill animals out there. And the type of control that this young man had and what he went through, he's going to break down, and then people are going to go, oh, look how fake this is. Oh, he was laughing earlier. You ain't allowed. You've got to walk around mopey all the time. You got to walk around mopey. You got to be depressed. If you're upset about something, you've got to maintain. You got to stay in that depression cycle because God forbid you come out of it. There are people that deal with real depressive issues all the time. Sometimes a smile is a difference between making or breaking somebody.
Absolutely.
That got me. That really got me. I came at it. I came at that person. I called him, gave him the douchebag of the week award. But people like that, complete lack of empathy, disconnect from reality, do not care about another human being if it goes against what they want you to believe, their false narrative. Those are I have no pity for anything that happens to anyone like that.
Right.
That kid is breaking, Scott. You know what I mean? He's dealing with a lot.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like what they're trying to put this kid through for political gains. You know, there was so much lying in the media about what really happened, or misunderstandings, we'll say. Like, oh, he carried guns across state lines. Even the prosecutor in their opening statement said that didn't happen. But see, they've been playing that narrative for so long. Even when the prosecutor said that didn't happen, people will still believe this kid crossed state lines with guns because they've buried it into our brain. They have buried it into our brain, just like Trump saying there's good people on both sides. Yeah. You know, he was not talking about white supremacists, but they have buried that into people's brains that even when you show them the clip that proves he didn't actually say that, they don't believe it. He's a racist, you know, a guy who grew up in New York his whole life and were around models and stuff his whole life. He's a racist and you know, he hates gay people. Come on, people. Like, really? Can you really believe that?
Well, again, right. All of his, for the entire length, all the way up until he ran for president. What party did he
exactly? He was a Democrat until he realized the Democratic Party moved. It moved too far left, and he realized America needed help. America needed help, man. And, you know, even when they try to turn the Make America Great. See, this is the funny thing. They turned Make America Great. Oh, what are you saying? America isn't great as it is? That was their defense against him using that in 2016. And now if you listen to the same people like Barack Obama, America can't be saved most likely. Like, these people are just going to say whatever they need to say to make the other guy look bad. Absolutely. Once you get that through your head, listen to what the candidates are really telling you. That's how I make my choice.
I mean, I also look at the history of action. Actions speak louder than words. I mean, it's an old saying, but it's damn well true. And patterns speak more than actions.
Right.
Look at a person's steady behavior. Everybody can screw up.
Yep.
Everybody can have a trip and fall. But if you look at the history of someone's actions and who they are and how they are, then you will see who they really are. Words don't mean shit.
Oh, the sexiest man on YouTube's here. Midnight's Edge After Dark.
God, look at that. We're getting famous now, Scott.
Yeah, well, I did send out a tweet. I mean, you're welcome. You're welcome. I did send you that far left pundit one. The article in the private chat.
All right, let me take a look at that.
And I mean, this broad is far left. You know, she's part of the Young Turks. She's part of the Young Turks.
Oh, that shit.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, God. Hold on. Let me look at that.
I mean, that's to me, that takes her. She's one of those people that, like, wow, like you actually admitted to something, and I'm pretty impressed by that. Because Rosenbaum was a piece of shit. It doesn't mean he deserved to get shot, but he did from his actions that day, but he was a piece of shit. The guy's a sex offender. The guy's, you know, was in a state hospital. He got released because of suicide watch, but truly he went to his ex's house, tried to force himself back in, and went in there because he had no else place to go and probably wanted to make her feel bad. I'm assuming, but that's what I believe.
God damn, I hate my browser. I need a new computer.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I really
do.
Do
you need a computer like some of us real YouTubers?
Far left pundit admits she was wrong for assuming Cobb Rittenhouse chased Joseph Rosenbaum before fatally shooting him. I want to correct the record. So I know this type of person. This is someone that I've ignored for years. So Scott's gone. I want to ask him something.
I'm here.
Okay. So I want to ask the chat too. So if someone who has a history of making ridiculous statements and obviously smearing facts in order to reinforce their own biased narrative,
agenda.
If they wake up, if they start to wake up, should a hand be? Should we reach out?
I'll be back.
No, do your thing, brother. Do your thing. Should a hand be reached out? I mean, should there be a point where it's like, all right, well, we learn, because we are people who make mistakes and learn. What do you guys think about in the chat? What do you guys think? Real quick, the nerd pearl life form. What's up, dude? I regret voting for Obama. I thought his election would bring the U.S. close together, and it did the opposite. You're right. It did. We got quarter rolled, as Wes Moody would say. It did, and that was a sad thing. I let myself get all caught up in that election, in the 2008 election. I was not a fan of George Bush. Was not a fan of that whole Bush administration, because that was a lot. That was a lot. I'm not even going to go into any of that. But no, when you had Obama come into office, what did we get? We had not only did the powers that were given by the Patriot Act expanded upon, it went further into the deep state. More surveillance on citizens. More surveillance on our social media, more working with the tech giants to surveil the people and control a narrative, and control society, shape it. That knocked me out the park. That by the time his second, by the time of his second term, I was taken out. I was tired of taking out. And like Red Gaze said earlier, the Last Jedi woke up a lot of sleeping giants. I mean, you're right about that. And it's crazy. Again, that's kind of what I've been doing. And that's why I come from the perspective that I do, is because it was entertainments that woke me up. It was really recognizing that some of our modern myths and some of the things we beloved and cherished since we were children were being used against us, to divide us, to separate us, to create division and hate under the guise of diversity and inclusion. It's just like Scott said earlier. It's about just using words, reshaping the meaning of words in order to control the way that we view them. And even words like diversity. Ain't nothing wrong with diversity. Ain't nothing wrong with inclusion. Ain't nothing wrong with any of that. If you are truly a diverse and inclusive people, you don't need to say it. You don't need to. You don't need to. The most of the people who use those terms and that terminology are the racists. They are the sexists. They think in terms of skin color. They think in terms of what you've got between your legs or who you sleep with. They are obsessed with that. Not me. Probably not you. We all have our own points of views, whether it comes from a religious background or our family or social makeup or the experiences that we've had in our lives. And each and every one of us has the right, and it harm none, do as thou will. Each and every single one of us has the right to have those positions. You ain't evil just because you've had bad experiences with a certain group of people or a certain type of person, and that has affected how you view that group for the rest of your life. It's up to you whether or not you want to change that, have a good experience with someone from that group and change your perspective. But that's entirely on you. It's your right as an individual. Nobody should be telling us how we live, what we can and can't say, how we what we can and can't do, who we can and can't sleep with, what we can do with our genitals. All that. Ain't nobody should be telling us what we can and can't do. And the problem is that there have been nefarious actors out there in politics, on social media, running social media, in the news, that want that exact thing, to condition through fear and hate, to keep us divided, keep us fighting, so it takes our attention off the real criminals, the wealthy elitists, the globalists, the people that want to make money piggybacking off of these negative emotions. And they everywhere, y'all. They everywhere. They around us. They on YouTube. They all around us. You got to recognize who the good souls are, the good people, no matter what kind of a fake smile they got or what promises they offer you. We got to use our heads and stick together and keep promoting positivity, because if you keep promoting positivity and you keep working together, you keep standing up for all of our rights to stand with one another. There are egos out there that ain't going to be able to handle that, whether they're in politics or they're on social media, whatever sphere they're in. There are egos out there that eventually will not be able to handle that, and they will crack, and you will see them for who they are. We got to fight that. We got to stick together. Karen Prime said, what, this bitch, she waking up? Apparently this bitch is waking up. Scotty brought this up. He's being a dad. He will be back and give his comments on this as soon as he comes back, and I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Please smash the like button and share out the link. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me throughout these last 3 years. My channel's finally grown again. Thank God. I'm going to get to 2,000. I'm going to get to 2,000 before Scott. You have no idea how happy I am about that. He is going to be so upset. Thank you. No, God, seriously, no. Subscribe to Sporking News Podcast. Scotty's one of the best people we got on YouTube. He's my best friend. Let's get this man up to 2,000 so that we can fight and complain, and up to 3,000, because that'd be awesome if we could do that. William says, doing so at your own risk, always take precautions. Absolutely. Wrap it up. You never know what you're going into, soldier. You never know. Wrap it up. Arwen says, we've all been wrong at some point or another. However, a lot depends on their sincerity and honesty. Absolutely. We all make missteps. And as far as this woman goes, I'll be honest, I can't remember her name because I just can't stand some people. But I know but I know she was on Turks. And I don't care about anything she has said in previously. But everyone does learn. We can't, and we definitely can't maintain a walled up, static perspective in our hearts that will not allow us to embrace someone who is changing, waking up, opening up, or at least people on different sides of whatever argument you're having that can come to common ground and agree on something. Because that's the one thing that the far left or the far right or any extreme group does not want us to do, and that is to find common ground. Commonalities are what bind us together. Scotty, what's up, brother? How you kids doing?
Oh my God, man.
It's cool, dude. You're good.
Yeah, no, it's not.
You're the dad.
No, they're children, and they should not be heard. Isn't that the old saying? They should be heard. I walk into the living room and there is Lucky Charms everywhere. Spilled milk, bowl. The kid decided, it looked better on the floor. I don't know.
I just want to say that I appreciate you live streaming with me this
week. I'm
I
trying.
know what it's like for you. So what thoughts do you have about this? Did you want me to read through the article, or did you
I mean, you can read a little bit. What
right.
I think that last statement was the best. It's all about the sincerity. What was her sincerity behind this? Mm-hmm. And like I was saying, Russell Brand, you've seen him grow. You've seen him actually admit he was wrong. Oh God, another kid. What?
They love you, Dad.
I know they do. Jeez. I may not be back, but I'm going to try.
All right, bro. I got you.
Bye.
I got you. Anna Kasparian, far left co-host of the progressive news program The Young Turks, admitted she was wrong for assuming Kyle Rittenhouse chased Rosenbaum before fatally shooting him last year amid rioting and protesting in Kenosha, Wisconsin, following the police-involved shooting of Jacob Blake. In reality, and according to videos the Blaze examined just 2 days after the incident, it was quite clear that Rosenbaum was the aggressor and was, in fact, chasing Rittenhouse that night. So it isn't clear. It isn't so clear why Kasparian assumed the opposite all this time, though even the prosecuting attorney in Rittenhouse murder trial last week falsely implied the Rittenhouse chased Rosenbaum narrative. But hats off to Kasparian for admitting she was wrong. Absolutely. It's something we can't grill people for. I mean, if you're a friend, you can get a few words in. If you need to, if it was a heated argument or something to debate, you can get a few words in. But if someone admits that they're wrong, that takes courage. Sometimes that takes a lot of courage for certain people. What were the details? Initially, I was under the assumption that Rittenhouse was the person who was chasing after Joseph Rosenbaum, and that's how it started, Kasparian said on camera, but I was wrong about that. She also said she wanted to correct the record. I was, in fact, wrong about that. Look, these details matter because if you're going to make an argument, and if you act in self-defense, there needs to be some proof that there was an imminent threat. Kasparian added, now, what really mattered to me was how all of this unfolded. what was the thing that sparked it, what started all of it, and to show you the evidence and reinforce that I was wrong about it. I want to go on to this video that shows everything that was everything and how it really started. Leslie Shud interrupted her commentary with a video report breaking down. Is that Stone Cold Steve Austin? Oh, no. She interrupted her commentary with the video report breaking down the timeline that night, first showing a very angry Rosenbaum hollering, "Shoot me," as rifle-toting folks in Kenosha were there to protect businesses from looting and arson. Rosenbaum also repeatedly used the N-word in his exclamations, which the video muted, because they're fighting for diversity and inclusion. These are the heroes. Remember that. That's the narrative. These are the heroes. The clip also shows Rosenbaum chasing Rittenhouse down the street and throwing a bag at Rittenhouse, which the video said contained belongings from his hospital stay for mental health treatment. I can't. These are far left heroes, y'all. These are the far left. These are the heroes. These are the people. While they're Xing off Luke Skywalker's face at Disney Lucasfilm, they are drinking coffee and celebrating people like this. Like, this is what's up. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I wish I still did drugs. All right. The clip also notes the third party fired a shot into the air before Rosenbaum catches up to Rittenhouse and lunges at him, which is when Rittenhouse fired at Rosenbaum. Those details matter. Yeah, details do matter. So those details matter, right? Kasparian continued after showing the timeline clip. Who was chasing who matters. The gunshots by some other identified person, that matters, especially if you're Rittenhouse and you're running away, and then you hear the shots, and then Rosenbaum lunges toward him. Okay, so I'm glad. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm glad. Oh my God, she looks so dense, doesn't you know? I can't deal with that face. It's hard for me. Like I'm just hating. I'm sorry. I'm just letting off steam. Just saying. That is the face. That is the face of getting your leather seats ripped up. All right. Those are tires. Those are smashed windows. That is a child support case you do not want. I'm just saying. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. I'm not hating it. I'm just saying. I can't stand this person. But good. Yeah, you're allowed to admit. And what she's saying is correct. What she's saying is correct. It is something that a lot of us have been saying for as long as this has been a topic. But I mean, good. I'm glad that we can all come around to that point. We can all come full circle to say that facts matter. Facts do matter. Give me a second. I promise I'll get back on camera. Drunk 3PO yelled at me for like a year. You have no idea. Jay yelled at me for like a year. Get on camera. Get your people on camera. Red Gaze is still not on camera. Gaze, you're still not on camera. All right? You're not that ugly, bro. I've seen you. You're not that ugly. Just get on camera. Scott's not on camera. That's because he's a dad. So, no. What's going on? What's going on? Tina Potion, channel member. How you doing, honey? Good to see you. Adega Outlaws with us. It is good to see you. Let me see. Who else is with us? Arwen. You. Spartan Flash Century. What's going on, dude? Good to see you. Riot Kitty. Thank you for stopping through, man. It's good to see you. Thank you so much, sweetie. Man Squatch. Man Squatch is with us. Morning all. What is up, Man Squatch? Hell yes. Ferrier's with us, man. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, so this I'm not ugly. Tom, do you want to talk about this at all? I'll send you a link out there, Tom, if you want to come on. Just let me know. I'm not going to go for that much longer. I know that Culture's probably got a stream coming up soon, and you guys have no idea the type of whining you get. I thought Scott was bad. The type of whining you get from Culture Casino when you stream over what he's doing. And it's not like one of those whines where it's like, what are you doing? Like Scott whines like that. Scott whines like, like he begs for sex. Culture is one of those, because he's a good person. Culture Casino is really a good person, but he kind of like he's disappointed. He becomes disappointed that you didn't care enough. Oh, okay. I mean, I was streaming, but that's how he plays the game. All right. All of them. They're all man bitches around me. I just what it is. I'm doing what I can. Let's see. What was it? Said he's lying, Tom. He says, I've been waiting for 20 minutes. You didn't say shit? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, good, Red, because I need someone else to come on here and talk. Red, I am sending you a link right now, guys. Give me a sec. I get paranoid when there's dead air, so I talk constantly. That's my problem. So let me get Red Gaze. Hold on, Gaze. I'm sending you a link. If I can get it. Oh my God, I can't stand to wait it. Can't stay with Twitter. I can't wait till we get our company emails up and running. I'm working on that. That is not a topic for live discussion. I can't do more than one thing. I'm running a company. I can't do more than one thing at once, and this drives me crazy. Oh my God, Red, why didn't you say anything in the goddamn chat? I give up. Hold on. I'm gonna go Gary. And just goes. What? All right, there's a link, Red. Tom, I'm gonna send you one in case you want to jump in and give your 2 cents. Sorry, guys. Apologize. Talk amongst yourselves. This is terrible. All right. Because Scott left me. Scott said, "Yeah, I'll go live with you," and then he just didn't even care. He'd rather be a dad. What the hell's that about? We're like kind of famous and stuff, like a little bit. We're important. We should be on here. Oh my God, Red, please get on here and save me. Let me say hi to the chat real quick. He said, Red said forever ago, yes, he was hobbling to his PC. Yeah, Red's not feeling good. And I understand that. I woke up and my foot swelled up like a balloon. I don't know what that's about. I have no idea. I'm taking pills and stuff, like I'm taking vitamins and stuff. I get, I'm doing old people. My girlfriend, let me tell you about dating a younger woman. Ashley Lynn, hold on, Red. I'll tell you this. Let me tell you something. Ashley Lynn called me an old man with a pill box because I take vitamins and like omega-3s and all that stuff now because I'm trying to take care of myself. I'm 44 years old, trying to take care of myself. And she's a young buck. She's 36. She's a young buck. So that's what she does. That's what she does to me. I suggested that the girl just take vitamins, just women's vitamins or something like that. I'm trying looking out for my girl. And that's how she came at me. I'm an old man. That's what you get when you date daddy issues. What's up, Red?
Yeah, see that? Pale Rider's got my back. He knows what's up. Pay attention. This motherfucker's always saying, don't message me on Twitter. Just text me. I text him, and this is what we get.
You did? You're the one who texted me.
Yeah.
I can't do more than one thing at a time.
This guy. Well, you better figure it out, CEO.
These are my friends. I'm building a company with these honest dicks. This is what I get. Now, go ahead. Let's spit some knowledge for a minute, will you please, sir?
Oh, what is this? Well, wait a minute. Okay, you're pulling a Sporking on me. What the hell?
I'm not pulling a. I'm right here. I'm right. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to be on camera.
This guy. All right. Well, speaking of not being on camera. Okay, listen. At least I put some effort into it. All right. You still got Tommy running around with that little green speck. Give me a little bit of credit.
All right, man. Yo, look. All right. What do you think of the RittenHouse trial so far, brother? What's your opinion on it?
So far, I think I don't know. Like it seems to be going pretty well for him since the very beginning. Like pretty much out the gate. I mean, the prosecution has more or less been proving his innocence. That whole thing yesterday, man, that was painful to watch. Just that Binger dude just going on and on asking the same questions 30 different ways. Like, dude, and half the shit he's asking is like he's asking him to speculate, which I don't understand why the defense isn't saying, objecting a little more, or at all. Because I mean, how did you feel at this? What do you think? That's not a question, that you should begin with at all. Like this is about facts, not theory, not what might have happened, not what could have happened, I mean that, and it's just the shit that he was going on and on about. Like, so the guy, so he was unarmed, as far as you could tell, he was unarmed. Well, okay, yeah, he's kind of being chased by a mob. At that point, if anybody's chasing anybody, they obviously mean harm, right? So self-defense is called for. Just I don't know. The fact that this even went to trial just makes me sick. It's clear and cut, the most clear and cut self-defense. And you have all kinds of evidence, all kinds of video of it. All kinds of witnesses that can attest to that. And I don't know. It's just the whole thing is just it's a farce. It's a sham.
I want to. I just want to let everyone know that Red Gaze, his comment to me in text message was, "You sending that link, bitch."
That's right.
That's the respect that I get. I just want to let y'all know that.
That was after I'd already hobbled back here and been waiting, for a time. So I got all comfortable with my morning coffee. I'm like, okay, I can let my foot rest a bit. Then you're like, Red Gaze, you want a link? I said, sure. Let me hobble my ass back here.
I didn't see sure. I didn't see
crickets. Well, I didn't actually say sure. I said, let me hobble my ass back to my PC.
Oh, see, you got to be direct with me. All right, it's early in the morning. I'm on my first cup of coffee. I'm autistic right now. It's what it is.
Yeah, I keep forgetting you're mildly retarded. I try to give you more credit than you deserve.
I appreciate that, and I'm glad that other people do, and I don't know why, but I do appreciate that. Chapter Master Pedro Cantor says, if Tim Pool is to be believed, Antifa will intimidate jurors to vote guilty. They've been targeting the jurors. I like Tim. I like some of his takes. I actually enjoy getting perspectives from like a traditional lefty, I guess. I guess you'd call Tim. That's
well,
real,
he's someone who's had the blinders taken off, which is, becoming more and more common. And I wish it would be even more common, because that's what we need. We need to get away from from both extremes. The extremes are the problems, man.
Yes.
It's just ridiculous. Like, you get these people with these cult-like mentalities on either side. But I gotta say, the left is far worse at this point. But yeah, on either side, it's just extremism is never a good thing, ever.
Absolutely, extremism is never a good thing. And that's part of the problem. That's why we have a lot of the problems that we have right now. And it's been a promotion of extremism for the last 2 decades, as far as I can tell. Just trying to create these static groups, the further segregation of people, and then pointing out our differences instead of our commonality.
How do we have open calls for fucking segregation and it's celebrated these days? How is that possible?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
This is the world we live in.
This is the world we live in. This is why it's important for us to stand up, support your independent creators, support your people out there that are doing podcasts, live streams, building YouTube channels. Everybody that's got a dissenting voice, get them monetized. Promote their channels. Let's get our voices heard. We are all engaged in this culture war. Man Squatch says, Binger got bingered by the judge. Dude, I love that scene. I'm watching Steph, my nerdy home. I'm watching fucking Ryan. I'm all my favorites out there just tweeting about this shit. I was like, yeah, that was a glorious moment. I made a post that had a lot of the C word in it, and I apologize for anyone who's offended by the C word. I'm sure that my stepmother would have beaten me with a shoe, and she's in her 60s. She would have beat me with a shoe if she'd seen me use that word that much. But it's the truth. Binger is a C word.
Totally. He's a weasel, man. Just
my God.
Fucking weasel, that guy.
And the ego on that dude. One of the things, I was really enjoying watching. I've been a fan of Recato Law for years. I don't watch him all the time, but I'll definitely check in. He's definitely a channel that I will check out a live stream and listen to while I'm doing something or work. And I was watching him and his team, or the lawyers or the friends that he had on that panel that were just destroying this case, destroying Binger yesterday. I was really enjoying listening to their takes on it. That's why I like listening to people in our community that have experience in law. Very intelligent people. And I'm looking at Binger and I'm thinking to myself, that right there is the reason why people hate lawyers. Him. That type of mentality. That
exactly. Ego. Well, he got railed by the judge because of, I think it's mainly because of the way he presented that. He's like, he brings up this topic that it already agreed was inadmissible, and then proceeds to like completely go into detail about everything that they weren't supposed to talk about, right?
Yeah.
like giving detail after detail about the stuff that was not to be admitted, and then asked that it be readmitted.
Desperation, Red.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying.
Because, wouldn't you think, like, this guy's an experienced lawyer? Wouldn't you think he knows that's not permitted? Like, that's not acceptable?
He's backed. All right. Okay. In my opinion, I don't know any personal information, but I would assume that him and that team are backed by the uber wealthy right now, who really need that narrative that Antifa and BL, they're heroes. They're heroes. You know what I mean? And they're the victims here. that he has got so much support from those sectors that it overinflated his probably already inflated ego. Now, to be fair, when you're doing something like law, I imagine that there is a lot of projecting confidence.
Right.
That you are right involved. And I worked in the mailroom of a law firm for a time while I was living in Philadelphia, and I saw a kid fresh out of law school, great kid. I remember this story. I remember seeing the transition that this kid went through as he hung out with seasoned, experienced lawyers at this firm, and how he went from somebody who would say hello to me every morning, talk to me like I was a human being, to someone whose shit did not stink. And this happened within a year.
There's no escape for me. I gotta go. I love you guys, but I'm gonna stay here. But put me under, Red. I gotta go. The baby's up now. He needs food. Please save me.
Culture, what's up, brother? Good morning.
Hey, putting together the 6-minute daily as I always do this time of the day. So
I know you do. And I just told the audience about how the stream can't go that long because you will shame me as a friend.
No. Look, you have plenty of time. We're 3 hours out, and 3 hours plus out from the 6-minute daily. So you've already been whacking your mouth for an hour and 15 minutes. So I don't know. Maybe you can talk more. I mean, it seems like a never-ending flow of words.
These are the people I depend on.
When have you ever known Steven to not be able to talk?
I want to talk more, but they're coming for me. Please send help.
Here comes the babies. Here come the babies.
Shit, here he is.
Culture, did you get a chance to? Oh, here we go. Culture's bringing something up. All right, what's this, brother?
It's the face of white supremacy.
Wow. Yeah, that's a nice picture of hypocrisy right there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's 1,000 different reasons why this narrative doesn't work. This is one of many. So, we're in a position where, they present alternative facts. The word alternative, whenever it's used by the extreme alt left, the people on the farthest left side of the spectrum, means that they're inconvenient facts for them. That they're the real inconvenient truth, as Al Gore would say. And it is, and it's not that either of these kids' fault. I mean, both of them were put into weird situations. One of them willfully went into a situation with a firearm, and the other one, with the intent to use it, by the way, the other went in there for the purposes of carrying a firearm for protection only, right? Without the initial, the actual intent to use it. He just got put into a situation where he ended up using it. The other one used it out of his own volition. Those are different things, and a lot of people are trying to conflate them. And even in that presentation of that meme that I showed you from someone else, it's not mine. They're trying to conflate the same things, the problem is that we have to admit there still is a certain amount of racism in the United States, but it's very minuscule. It's very small. It woven into the very laws that we crafted since 1964 is every effort to not just level the playing field for race, but for everyone else, right? And believe it or not, up until about 6 years ago, everything was working the way it was intended. The problem is you have 20 years worth of people that have been told they were oppressed while living in houses, eating plentiful amounts of food, being handed, $1,000 phones. But they're oppressed. Well, I don't see that oppression. Show me some actual oppression. It's pretty easy to find in the world, just not here in the United States. I mean, let me tell you, if you can become obese, in this country, being oppressed, and it's not medically driven, then again, you don't have much of an argument. I'm one of those people. I'm like, look, you are accountable for your actions. If you go out into a situation, you elect to do something wrong, you should be in trouble for it. Like, for example, LeBron James, right? He tried a hot take yesterday against the RittenHouse trial kid, saying that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, about him crying. He got slapped back harder than I've seen in a long time. People like, dude, you would know faking. I mean, and people showing him like flopping and everything else in basketball games, and then people bring up the China thing. I mean, there's 1,000 memes out there that make him look bad. He is the king of making himself look bad. That's what he's king of. He's not king of basketball. We already know who the GOAT is. So it's like, and he's never going to get to that level, you know? And at least the GOAT recognized at the time that Republicans buy shoes too. Well, so do independents, so do libertarians, et cetera, et cetera. But that would ultimately the point was, why would I put my foot out there, with the opportunity to put it in my mouth and reduce the sales that I make? Not only that, you know, in this particular case, you know, LeBron's doing it on the backs of, you know, Uyghur Muslims, children, men, women, and children that are in forced labor situations. You know,
why are we not talking about things like that? You know,
well,
we're talking.
Because this is a happy morning show, and I came in to piss all over it. So did it work?
Oh no, we've been angry. We've been angry all morning. They're good.
Well, I'm not here to be angry. I'm putting a show together right now. So
man.
I think what's
real quick.
go ahead. Yeah, okay. I think what Steven's trying to say is, why aren't those types of things being brought to light and opposed, as opposed to creating problems that don't exist?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, look, they lied about everything, fabricated evidence for 4 years. You know, there's a bunch of really thoughtful, believe it or not, liberal news outlets. So they're even publishing articles on why there's such a disconnect right now. Why you know, people are so surprised when, you know, well, let's go back, you know, 5 years almost and say people were surprised that Trump was elected. Well, because they'd been told lies leading up to that for 2 years, right?
Right.
The news media misled them, told them that, you know, well, there's no chance that, you know, the Republicans are going to win. It's going to be Hillary.
Yeah, and they drag it out for so long before the facts actually come to light. It's past the point of people caring, and those, you know, some who still do will sit there and still make excuses.
Well, and then they craft a narrative around, you know, Russian collusion, when guess who was colluding with the Russians?
Right.
And, you know,
who didn't know that from day one? I mean, seriously.
Right. Dig that, man. Real quick, I'm going to say Spartan Flash Century says, author Stephen Walton, well, this is the world we live in right now, and I have faith it will eventually get better. Dude, I'm right there with you. And that's why we need to support independent creators, speak our minds. You know, everybody in the chat, all of you, all of our voices matter. All of us are important, all our positions, because at the end of the day, we here concentrate on our commonalities more than our differences, which is what brings people together. James Hayes has a question I wanted to pose to you guys, because James always here, always a great supporter, always bringing positivity to us. He says, the only issue I have with RittenHouse is that he is a kid who took a gun out to a riot. It was begging for trouble. If I were his dad, I would have he would have been staying home. Thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, the dad part, I kind of have a difficult time arguing with, but as far as taking a gun, I mean, he knew what he was going into. Like, if I were going into that situation to help, and I felt that I needed to defend buildings as well, you're damn right, I'd be I'd be armed, absolutely.
Well, I think that the hyper state that we were put in we were still in, but leading up to that point, made people want to be engaged in defending our society, the values that, as far as we as Americans have been brought up with.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of people forget Kenosha was kind of like came on the heels of all those BLM riots, all those people getting the shit kicked out of them just for being white, all those people getting mobbed for trying to protect their business. Like, at that point, absolutely, you should most certainly be able to defend yourself if you're going into that kind of a situation.
Or defend. I mean, the business that I believe RittenHouse was at had owned several in the area, and one had been destroyed the night before or recently. And so, you know, that owner was looking for protection from the destruction of his business. We're talking about, you know, people's lives were destroyed by these rioters, by these domestic terrorists, these racist hate groups, completely destroyed.
Oh yeah, many of them, if not ended.
Yeah. So in my opinion is, I think there should have been more people out there with gats, more responsible people out there with guns, ready to do what they needed to do to protect.
And the other problem is the police have abdicated all their responsibility in this situation.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
And
that was a big part of the problem. That's why citizens felt the need to basically police the situation, because the police are completely ineffective and by design.
By design, in effect, exactly. You had the areas where police are supported by their local government or by the people, and you have areas where they are already consistently under assault from crime-ridden areas. And you have those areas where their local governments are basically stripping them of powers and containing their ability to maintain law and order. No matter what area or sector of the country you're in during this time, the police have been consistently vilified, uniformly vilified in this country during those times to help facilitate that kind of ineffectuality. To help facilitate the public perception that all police are bad, all police are racist, all police are this, and so that they literally cannot be effective. I mean, and also imagine the mental toll, the emotional toll that it takes on the good police officers. They are out there. They are out there. Good police officers that are out there putting their lives on the line to protect us, that are under constant assault from social media, from these large groups, from these domestic terrorist groups that are doing nothing but hounding, insulting, doxing, going after the livelihood and the families of these police officers. They were made to be ineffectual. There was a reason for that, so that the heroes of the far left, the domestic terrorists and the racist hate group, that they support their paramilitary arm, could run rampant with impunity. And that has been one of the biggest problems that we've had in the last few years.
Yeah, and it couldn't be more obvious. I mean, like anyone who's been paying a little bit of attention, just a little bit of attention, it's not difficult to understand. Okay, ineffectual police being ordered to stand down at all turns, plus violent rioters left and right getting worse and worse, equals destabilization. It's pretty simple equation.
Yeah, absolutely. Hail lethal, my brother. Long Dong, lethal lightning, my big dick brother from down under.
What's up,
good
lethal?
to see you, man. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for stopping through. If you're still here, appreciate you. And shout out, by the way, shout out to Lyndon, who's out there not giving any F's whatsoever.
Yeah, dude, Germany, like Twitter's like the German government, blah blah blah. I'm like reading this thing, I'm like, holy shit, and then Lyndon's just laughing. I'm like, all right, bro.
He gives no F's.
Yeah,
I love the Aussie. I can't wait till we have the Rogue Aussie show. That should be coming up in December. Yeah, man, pumped. That's going to be fun. We're just going to have a fun time with that.
Off the chain.
Let's see.
Liam demands a shout out.
Liam always gets a shout out. Liam will always get a shout out. I'm trying to find him in the chat right now. Damn it. There he is. And shout me out to absolutely support Conquest Comics. Go check out Liam's channel. Support his projects. That's one of the best people we got in indie comics right now. Please check him out. We're gonna have him on Rogue sometime soon. Good friend of Vinny, and anybody that is a friend of Vinnie Tartamella, I trust, because that man suffers no fools. I love Vinny. Please support Vinny's projects as well. Toxic Man flew for $10. Thank you so much, channel member. Appreciate you helping to keep the lights on. Just a sec. I thought he didn't take the firearm with him. I thought it was he was given it when he got there. Isn't that why the transporting over state lines charge was dropped?
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
I think you're right, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Taking a firearm across state lines where you're allowed to carry in both states isn't actually illegal.
Right, and Red was talking about that earlier. I think Red or Scott were talking about how that's another smear of truth, another smear of facts.
That's still being pushed by the mainstream media.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and the defense alike. By the way, the defense is dumb. I have never seen a more inept, not defense, excuse me, by the prosecution. I have never seen a more inept prosecution team in my life, ever. And not only that, I mean, they've been caught now multiple times trying to suborn perjury from their witnesses. That's a no-no. They actually tried to reintroduce something that the judge already ruled on. I guarantee you that this, even though the motion I believe was made towards the end of the day yesterday for a mistrial, this absolutely could end in a mistrial, which means that the prosecution failed in every way imaginable.
Miserably.
And, like I said, I mean, they didn't demonstrate relevance. They tried to introduce something into evidence that was not, properly gone through the discovery process, et cetera, et cetera. And again, I'm no attorney, but I know all the basics when it comes to this stuff, and none of it happened. So again, this prosecutorial team, they tried to introduce this thing with the pinch thing, which, was immediately shut down by the defense team, saying that interpolation that you're trying to display is the algorithm of the phone trying to figure out what happened, not what is actually to be seen in the frame. And I was like, wow, that's freaking genius. Well done. Of course, who had already said that was our good buddy Nick Rekieta. Yeah. So it's like, all right, well, and by the way, praise to Nick for freaking kicking booty.
Yes.
He had his, I think somebody properly described it as having his last Jedi moment. And I think that's 1,000% right, man.
Absolutely, man. I was watching this live stream. I'm seeing,
I think everybody's watching his live stream, man. There was like
1,000 people. 73.
Yeah, I got to 73 yesterday. I was like, good Christ, brother. Awesome. Plus, and he's always a lot of fun, right? Because, he does some really funny stuff on like Flashcast and stuff and his own channel, right? Mm-hmm. But man, to watch his channel just go boop, 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 like by several thousands, tens of thousands of subs a day was amazing.
And what does that show you? It shows you that people are looking for genuine commentary, reporting.
Yeah, and not the carefully crafted narrative shit that they're getting from the lying ass Tubins of the world. God, that dude has less than zero credibility, and yet they keep marching his ass out there. I'm like, good Lord.
Absolutely. Tox, thank you so much. Red, did you have anything you wanted to say on that?
Just every time I hear the name Tubin, it's a name that will live in infamy. And I wonder if this wouldn't have already been dismissed as a mistrial if it weren't such a high profile case.
It should have been. It
never should have been brought.
Yeah.
And that
it shouldn't have.
Everybody knows that, right? And all of a sudden mysteriously just found FBI footage that just makes it into the trial at the last minute. You're like, good Christ. Hey, what's up, Tom?
What's up, Tom?
Evidently, Steven sent me a link like 20 minutes ago, and I just saw it now because Twitter sucks.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Red called.
Don't be sorry. It's fucking Twitter.
Message. Okay. Yeah.
He is a bitch.
I only got like 10 minutes, but hey guys, how you doing?
Well, how you doing, big sexy? What's up, big sexy?
Since I only have you for 10 minutes, you've been around for this wild ride and all these channels that have grown. Congratulations on Midnight's Edge and everything you guys are doing there. Can't wait to have you guys on Rogue Entertainment in a couple weeks. What do you think of all the attention that Nick Rekieta is getting, rightfully, for his coverage?
Oh, it's amazing. I love Nick. I've known Nick for not too long, like a little over, personally, like a little over a year or whatever, maybe. But, I've been watching his channel for a while, and he's a good dude, and I'm glad to see he's getting the attention, and he rightfully so. And I think the bigger part of it is, beyond just saying, congratulations to him for all that business, is just that I think it shows more of where a lot of the attention is going. Because if you look at because like every major news source is showing it live. PBS is the one who's getting like the most views, it looked like. But there was a lot of the time there where Nick was getting like he was like in second or third place to like PBS.
Yeah.
And I think MSNBC was the only one who was beating it at one point, but like there was a point where I think he was beating them.
Yes, he was. He was beating the mainstream on 3 channels.
Oh, he was beating the mainstream all across the board.
Yeah.
Like there was no competition. Like CBS, ABC, all them, they were lucky to pull in a couple thousand.
Yeah. Yeah, but the channels that like I said, I mean, the channels that are presenting this outright directly, even without commentary, at times he was crushing.
That's what I mean. And and considering, at least I would say the side of the aisle that he's appearing to come from and his people that he brings in. But it's getting to the point now where people are starting to see, like you guys were just talking about this before I came in, just, they're starting to see the truth, right? Like Anna from fucking Young Turks and shit is starting to finally see that not everything is as it's presented.
Right.
Or she's trying to avoid a lawsuit, Tom. Let's be honest.
Oh, you mean like Alex Jones?
Yeah.
Well, and hey, you know, that's the thing is I'm not going to say that everything Alex Jones has ever said is right too, but what about all these other pundits on the other side who've been saying nothing but bullshit for the last 6 years?
Right. Well, they're not really. A lot of them aren't going to be held accountable for it.
Like people like my dad still think a lot of the same shit because all he watched was mainstream news. It's like, Dad, this is not the truth. You know, it's like, he's like, oh, they were just out there protesting. It's like, yeah, in some areas they were, but then in a lot of other areas they were just tearing shit apart.
And that's the truth. Yeah, it's gotten to the point, at least in my family, where the mainstream is all they've watched, and where I used to have really great in-depth conversations, like conversations that enlightened me to topics that I didn't have much experience in, or just debate that led to a different perspective, have disappeared. They've completely disappeared. Those lines of communication have disappeared because of because of how the mainstream media represents certain topics, and the idea that if you go against what the mainstream is saying, then you are a conspiracy theorist, or you are you're alt-right. And I mean, that's really hurting people. That's hurting families. It's hurting conversations that can be had, that can bridge understanding. A lot of the problem that we have right now
is hurting communities and your ability to function. Yeah,
absolutely. It's creating a static environment. It is segregating people by their views, and it's stifling. I hate to see it. But as far as Nick, as far as Nick goes, I've been watching. Like I said, I've been watching him for years. He's somebody that I would check out if I see him live. Even if I'm not interested in what they're talking about, I'll stop in there for 10 minutes and listen to see how his channel has grown, and the attention that he's been getting with the RittenHouse trial.
Well, I can say really on a personal level, he's a real good dude. So
well, I don't know him personally.
I can say that on a personal level. Like I said, he's a real good dude, and I'm glad to see the success for him. He deserves it. So hopefully this is just up and up for him from here. So
absolutely, I hope that too. Fast Steven Seagal says, "What the hell is this?"
This is you being excluded, Fat Steven. Fuck you. Give me $500.
Does that number have a purpose, or
okay? It goes back to the Gina Carano thing. There was a bunch of people going, "Oh, I've gotten post-traumatic stress syndrome from your vapid attacks or whatever. Now I need therapy, and you'll have to pay for it. You can Venmo me $500 and shit." Like, just random people, and that's what they would be like. "Oh, you horrible person, blah blah blah. Fuck you, give me $500." So it was like, that was kind of like the ongoing joke. So for the rest of the day, Fat Steven and I were like, blah blah blah, fuck you, give me $500. Like, like virtue signal, give me money. Like, that's all it was.
I wish I could make that formula work. It only seems
right.
To work for,
no
for
shit.
Shit
it's like,
bags,
this is how they make it work, right? We always ask, where's the money coming from? This is it. They shame everybody into giving them money.
Fast Steven Seagal says the prosecution looked like idiots, in my opinion. Any thoughts on that? On the prosecution or the trial
Wisconsin?
itself?
What can I fucking say?
All right.
Yeah, I mean, he's a dumbass. It's pretty
well, let's
obvious.
Be real. If you really want to go with somebody's truth instead of facts, you're going to find yourself in positions like this. Just saying. Facts don't lie. Opinions do.
Yep. Yeah, and unfortunately for him, he got a judge that actually, believes in facts.
Oh, I loved that yesterday when that one fucking dude was trying to talk circles around him about the pixels and shit like that. And it's like, I don't even know that much about this shit, and I'll tell you flat out, the fuck it, don't create bullshit that ain't there.
Right.
It's an algorithm.
Yep.
It's bull. You cannot trust digital video. There is no trusting digital video.
Did you notice how quickly that was dropped after the break?
Exactly. Yeah.
Tom, why do you make that statement?
Why do I make you can't trust digital video?
Yeah.
Because it's not the same as film.
Yep.
There's a big difference. When you're filming something that's on film, you're getting actual light from, a natural source. When you're using a camera that's digital, there are so many processes that go between you filming that to it being, contained on a file to when you take it off that file onto something else, depending on what you're playing it on. There is a dozen different variables on what could happen between then and there. Like, for instance, we talk on 4K for you all the time. Our number one thing is turn off smooth motion. Why, Culture?
Oh,
it
I'm sorry.
creates artificial fucking frames that aren't fucking there.
But that's how that works, though. This is done. There's also a methodology that's done to speed up the flash of the backlighting, which actually can create additional, perceived panels that don't exist or frames that don't exist there.
You have the opposite problem too, where digital will erase shit.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's you can actually pull pixels and replace them based algorithmically, which essentially is a lot of what compositing can do. But
a great example is like Lord of the Rings we were talking about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
the digital scrubbing they did, they actually removed some shit they didn't mean to.
Yep. And
really?
And Tom's right. I mean, you can blow up a film frame, to just epic sizes.
As long as you're not doing anything to it, if it's a straight scan, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Once you send it from one place to another, you're going through all kinds of digital manipulation. Yeah. It's just like an MP3.
It's compression.
You're really not listening to the song you think you're listening to. I know this is going to break your fucking mind for a second, but all an MP3 is an algorithm that mathematically figures out that that's what the song should sound like.
Get out.
Yeah, no, and actually, and Tom's not. This is the other cool thing, right? If you want the purest possible experience of hearing what the musician intended at the time of recording, you have to lay the tracks down onto wax. It has to be done that way. There is
it has to be analog from beginning to end.
Yeah. And if it's not, you're not getting the representation of what you think you're supposed to hear.
Because all an algorithm is just basically a mathematical equation that kind of figures shit out.
Yeah,
so like when you're filming stuff, it's what you're seeing back is basically a mathematical equation that's pretty much figuring out what you saw at that point.
Yeah, and that's, again, I mean, it's one of the reasons why audiophiles, right, will only want to listen to things off their turntables. I mean, even some purists, reject the idea that a reel-to-reel is, going to give you the same sound, right?
It just depends on the source. But again, no, you cannot trust digital anything.
Sorry.
But I do have to run, guys. I love you all, and I wish I could have made it in here sooner.
No, brother. Thank you for coming, Tom. Appreciate you, man.
All right. Take care, guys.
Take care, brother. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Rogue will be hosting Midnight's Edge in 2 weeks, special time. This week, Rogue Entertainment's at a special time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, not 7 p.m., which is actually being changed to 6 p.m. because the dump's going to move up to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, and the Rogue Entertainment's going to move to 6. So that we can catch more of our international audiences, so it's not too late for them. We love you guys. Thank you so much. But this weekend's going to be at 2 p.m. We got Comics Division coming up, and the week after, we're going to have Andre and Tom on. I think that's also going to be at 2 p.m.
All times mentioned Eastern. That's right.
All times mentioned are Eastern. Yep. I just like to remind that just in case of you guys. We know everybody's in a different time zone. Appreciate y'all. Toxic Man Food for $10. So this said. So the point is here. Members of this panel said he took the firearm with him. Even those who are awake can get caught up in the narrative.
Oh, sure.
I know I have assumed a lot during this time and was wrong.
No, he's 100% right. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're completely right. And that's why it's important to have conversations. I didn't even know what I was just explained to me about digital recordings. I didn't know that. And so that's why it's really good to have a good diverse group of friends with different backgrounds and especially channels. Guys, check out Midnight's Edge. They are killing it. The whole Midnight's Edge team. Love those people over there. Andre and Tom have been my friends for a very long time. So please check them out. But yeah,
they're a friend to smaller creators. I mean,
absolutely.
This is something that we talk about all the time, especially this group of 4 people that are here right at the moment. We are always talking about the channels that support the smaller channels, Midnight's Edge and everybody associated with them. That's the way it happens. And again, every one of these channels, we will continue to push everybody, including ourselves, forward, because the more voices we have out there to balance the bullshit you get out of the mainstream these days that's really where the fight is, guys. The fight for information is, especially when it's the truth. That's going to be what the next 3 years are going to be about.
Absolutely. A couple other chats I want to catch. Larry, channel member. Thank you so much, Larry. Supporter of me for years. I really appreciate the names that I see continually in the chat of people that I've either shared chats with in other channels, or people that are new, or people that I've seen for years. I really, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys for continuing your support. Thank you, guys. He says police should have done their job. I can't disagree with that. But like I said earlier, in some areas.
Larry, here, brother. And that's the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, none of this would have happened had the police just, done what they were supposed to do. But instead, they were standing, outside of the fray, right? And the people that were standing there to defend the private property, the gas station, tried to prevent them from burning it up. That's how all this stuff went down.
Well, and again, I believe that happened because police, especially during that time, were afraid to do their job, because of
they were made afraid.
Repercussions. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Because of the running narrative that was going on for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Police are the villains. The people setting shit on fire are the heroes somehow.
KC Charlie chats. Thank you, brother. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Says, don't forget getting to the line or crossing it about the Fifth Amendment. Culture, do you know what he's commenting on? Culture disappeared. He's the smartest guy here. I'm not even going to fake it. I'm not even going to fake that. I will come back to it and ask him when he comes back.
I might have missed that one during the case. We might be making reference to, once you cross the Fifth Amendment, once you basically surrender your Fifth Amendment to testify, you're kind of in a predicament at that point.
Absolutely.
Like you can't get back and claim it.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you, Red. Thank you very much. Thank you, Charlie Chats. Fire says Nick's a cool dude. He hasn't changed over the years, which I respect. No, he hasn't. Like when I first came onto YouTube and started giving a damn about YouTubers, Nick is one of the people that I have been following. He is quoted in the Fandom Menace Volume 1, and he's going to be in Volume 2. He hasn't changed in years. I respect that guy, and I'm really happy to see his channel grow, because we need more people out there that are providing information or insight or commentary that isn't bought and paid for.
He's blowing up. He's getting like 15K subscribers a day.
Yes, good for him, man.
Yeah, man. It's great content. Like there's no way I would sit there through hours and hours of this shit just watching the trial, right? But with the added commentary, it's just it makes it entertaining. It gives you more insight. It's just it's a beautiful thing what he's doing.
It is, and it's something that I had to learn early on in this YouTube game as different channels catch fire, different personalities, which just have a natural gravitas that people that get picked up by groups and succeed. Do not be jealous of your friend's success. You celebrate it, because every one of our voices that gets louder, it helps the whole. It helps to get the message across. It gives people an alternative to the mainstream. And that is so very important. It's way more important than any single one of our egos. It's way more important than mine. I'm very happy for Nick. I'm glad to see him succeed. Tina Bowden says, in defense of the police, most were told by their commander not to engage per the mayor's, as long as only property was destroyed. And that is the problem.
Yes, that is the problem.
That is so the problem. And it's because, like I said, you notice what happened when Trump got in office. And the Matrix had a glitch. The system wasn't working the way the system was working before. You had somebody who was a loudmouth who wasn't going to play. I'm sorry. Look, like I said, I didn't vote for Trump.
Are you comparing Trump to Nia?
What I'm saying is, I didn't vote for Trump that first election, but those were the debates I loved to watch. I loved those debates. I was eating popcorn, having a great time, because there was somebody up there who wasn't playing the game like these charlatans, these politicians were playing.
I got to say, it really made every one of my days watching somebody just talk to Hillary Clinton in that fashion.
Yes!
Like somebody needed to for years. There it is.
Bam. And in the Republican debates, he was just calling people out. He was like, yeah, you say this, but you ain't do this. And I loved it. I loved it. It was a beautiful thing. James Hayes says, it's easy to say the police should do their job, but when your superiors and people in office don't have your back when you are trying to enforce the law, and worse, want to put you in jail, there's nothing you can do. Again, that's the issue. That is the problem, because the matrix glitched, and everybody across the board, as soon as they got their memos and they realized what the message was, it was make this man look bad at any expense, at the expense of local businesses, at the expense of progressing ourselves beyond racism or sexism or any of the things that these far leftists say they're fighting against. The diversity inclusion arguments. They did not care about their message or what they said they were standing up for at any expense.
No,
they wanted to get that man out of office
message.
And destroy us as a people. They did not care about your job, your children, your school, your work, your environment, your society, your local area. They did not care about these things. They only cared about getting what their egos needed to get done so that they could all stay on the same page. And that is the biggest travesty. And that's why I have, not that I had much faith in my government before, but I have even less in it now. Now, I look at my government as a check and balance. Are you my enemy? Because you're treating me like I'm your enemy. You're treating my neighbors. You're treating the spirit of this country and the way it was and what it was formed. Founding fathers, they set up the groundwork. They weren't perfect, but they set up the groundwork for progression, for coming equality. The people that fought the Civil War and died, the hundreds of thousands, most bloody war in American history, to fight for the freedom of slaves. All of those sacrifices, the marches that took place during civil rights, the leaders that put their lives on the line, that lost their lives, all of the progression that has taken place to get us where we have gotten. And these charlatans out there who are saying that they're fighting in the spirit of those times, while in the same breath, not acknowledging any of the work that was done to get us to where we are. They do not care about us. Support independent creators. Support alt media. Fast Steven Seagal for $2 says, Steven sends links in between bonsai tree prunings.
Did you learn that from Mr. Miyagi?
I'm never going to live this down. I'm never going to. This is a false narrative.
It's actually easy for him to trim bonsai trees. Usually he just uses appropriately sized tools for his own stature, and it just takes care of him at his height. He's right down there with him.
So it's like there's little plastic kits for toys.
Yeah,
for children.
Yeah,
that's basically what he's got to use.
Yeah.
Tina Bojan sent me a super sticker, and I'm going to look it up right now because I can't see it on here yet.
It's the perfect super sticker.
It is a perfect sticker. Am I really going to love it? It is it's trees. Thank you very much, Tina. I love you. Please stop feeding the trolls. Oh God. No, thank you, Tina. I appreciate you. Love you, honey. Let me run through these before I lose them. Excuse me, guys. I will get back to the chat. Stevens Golf for $22 says, F you, Tom. Where's my 500? Eat my Crisco leftovers. I'm sorry.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
I'm sorry. I'm going to screenshot that and send it to Tom. I promise. Fat Steven. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let's see. I saw one more pop up. ETEP Wakuin in the place to be reviews. Guys, subscribe to ETEP. Link in the description below. Let's get this man to 1,000. He deserves it. ETEP's the thoroughbred of Rogue Entertainment. Get this man up there. See, ETEP says far leftists don't care about true inclusion and diversity and equality. They want revenge. They want segregation again. The veil has been lifted. Anybody want to comment on that before I rage?
Well, I mean, it's very simple. Like a house divided can't stand, right? That's pretty much the crux of what they're doing. Like especially as how blatant and how obvious they're becoming with all of these moves they're making. Like they need that division, or people are gonna see right through it. I mean, a lot of people do already, but that's just it. Like. I mean, it's kind of old hat at this point. Like, I mean, if you don't understand that the government wants to keep us divided, so we're not looking at what the fuck they're doing, then you need to wake the fuck up because your brain is a pea.
And it's not just the left. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's Scott and I were talking, I think Red and I, about when we grew up. The traditional enemies were the conservatives who wanted to, and Tipper Gore. Let's not forget Tipper Gore, who want to censor your music, censor your video games, censor your media. They want to control the narrative. If you don't believe this way, you're not a good Christian. They try and come at us with the religious aspect.
Yeah, we had to deal with that fucking satanic panic bullshit on D&D back in the day.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah, F that, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not just one side or the other. It's like I said earlier, it's the extremes of both sides are always the problem.
Absolutely. Always. Extremism in itself is a problem. But guys, please check out Eat Seppukulian. Remember Rogue Entertainment and the Fandom Collective. Hail the Fandom Collective. People who do not kneel and support everyone ever across the board. Love that. Love them. That Islington girl sent me a super sticker and
beautiful super sticker.
Is it? I'm looking. I can't. Where is it? Okay, trees. It's trees. I should have just known. I should just call it. It's either trees or. I know if according to Christy shows up, it's going to be a poop emoji. Like I know that, But now I'm learning. You guys. I love you. Thank you so much, Instant Girl. Mad the Magnificent Guys. Check out Mad Barber Entertainment, another great up and coming channel. His channel is way understubbed. If one of my mods can throw a link out to his channel, please get that. He's not even at 400 yet. That man deserves to be monetized. Please help him out. He says that's bullshit. Do your job regardless of whether or not it ever goes to court. You can't worry about what happens once you pass the case on to legal. I would have had multiple cases at night and couldn't worry about what the final outcome would be unless they came to me for pretrial prep or clarification or something. That's out of my hands. It's out of my mind. Mad. Thank you so much for helping to serve this country, man. God bless you, and thank you for being a civil servant as a police officer, dude.
And thanks for being on fire.
Yeah. Thanks for being on fire, and the dick story. I love. There's a slight. I don't know. I just feel like your friend grabbed a mutilated penis, and I think that's gay. There's something gay about that.
No,
I'm judging. I don't know. That's kind of gay culture.
Look. I still think he should use my version of the cock in the grass story. So I'm just saying.
You have a version of the cock in the grass story.
Yeah, because he told the story like a couple of times, and like I was trying to retell it on another stream. It was pretty awesome, right? And so like I thought he'd said that they like part of the guy who got blowed up was like up in a tree, like, and I was like and he's still like just kind of there, but his other business was elsewhere. So I thought and my version was pretty awesome, right? So
right, yeah, Mad. I sent you I gave you a wrench, brother. Please put your channel link out there, man. Please put it out there.
I'm just wondering why y'all are talking about withered dicks.
That dick story. God, this isn't that type of stream, is it?
No.
Yeah. I will talk about that later. Yeah. That's funny. The girls that we're feeding you trees. I appreciate that. And so does Ashley. My girlfriend laughs at me constantly and loves that you guys heckle me. And it's affecting me now. It's affecting me on an emotional level. So thank you for doing your job. Dark If Comics presents What is Up, Dark If Anthony? Hail to you, brother. Thank you for stopping through TWA and wishing Saggy Moans a happy birthday and singing her a song. Much appreciate that, dude. He says we should have all known when Tipper got in on it where this was going. Absolutely. Tipper Gore is awful person.
Help me.
Oh man, Scotty's having trouble.
Help. They found me. I need you guys. Send help. You're my only hope.
Blink twice.
It's like the Blair Bitch Project.
Scotty, you're a good dad. You're a model dad. We love you, Scott.
I hate children.
That's awesome. Tina, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing out a link. Guys, please subscribe to Mad Barber Entertainment, up and coming YouTuber. One of the best people. One of the funniest people that we have in this community, man. Please
do not subscribe to him. He's junk.
He is also the co-host for The Dump.
He is not a co-host. Take that back.
He's the co-host of The Dump. May at times be more entertaining than the host himself. So please subscribe and give him some love. Thank you.
Stephen Walton wants to have sex with him.
He heard he had a wooden leg. That's why.
No, pegging. It's a peg leg.
Oh, please no.
Good morning, Mac. What's going on, buddy? Links in the core chat if you want to come in. We're not going to be live too much longer, but you're welcome to come on the panel, brother. Yeah, everybody love Mackany. There it is, Becky giving some love to Mac, right? Kitty out there, love Mac. Mac is look, he is coming out with new products. He's got magnets that he's putting out. Mackany's really working hard on his channel, on his lunch table with different people, various entertaining creators, people that I love, people that I have loved that have been my chat brothers for years, like Bruce Lombardo, great person in this community, man. Hail old school Fandom, Menace. Just great people. Please check him out. Please support his channel. We want to get him to 1,000. We want to get all the rogues to 1,000, and we can make that happen if we all do it together, if we all rise together, if all you guys out there in the chats are right there with us, because we do appreciate you. We would not be here without your support. We would not be anything. We'd just be a bunch of dudes talking to each other, talking to ourselves.
I'd probably really still be here, but
okay, well, fucking Scott.
I'm just saying I'm pretty good.
Guys, check out the beginning of the stream. Scott was like, there was like, we had like 3 people in the chat. Scott was like, let me retweet it. Let me retweet. And he's like, more people will show. And he was right.
How many people are here now?
Yeah, special. It topped out at like 35. There's like 27 here now. So thank you.
I got out of the shower is what happened.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Let me ask you something.
Can you imagine? Okay, wait a minute. Time out. Naked Culture getting out of the shower with his flowing hair and jacked like the dude on The Simpsons, Ned Flanders. I could see it.
Now, wait, did you wash your hair, Culture? It might not be flowing.
Actually, this morning was a no wash, no condition day, so it stayed dry.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The question is, Culture, is the hair on your body, is that just on your head? Like, is everything else a hardwood floor? Like.
Well, I mean, the appropriate areas are properly groomed.
Just okay. All right. I was just wondering because you have spoken about that before. Do you shave your taint? Like, is there like a wax going on there, or?
That's for only a privileged few to understand.
Walton likes man bush too.
Please check out Culture Fans, which will be on the Rogue store next year.
Only Casino.
Only Casino.
Oh, you guys are evil humans.
Mr. says flapping his huge wang around. Drew is still bigger though.
Drew is essentially an astronomical event at times, from what I'm to understand. So
that certainly goes against stereotypes, doesn't it?
Right.
It does. It flies in the face, literally.
He's a freak of nature.
This is so fun because I'm not allowed to be like this kind of a funny guy, but with the biological humor, on my channel because it's pretty straight laced. But
it is.
So I like coming on here and with.
Wish you brought it to my channel. You're pretty damn dry on mine.
I was working my ass off last night.
You were.
Culture was fiery last night.
I actually have to say you ran the show last night. It was fantastic. I like it that way.
Yo, congratulations on the dump last night, man. That was a great show. Good.
Of course.
Oh, I love our fellowship is so great. That's right. Only Casino, the Islington girl. Absolutely love. Oh man, and it's good to hear that gays is better, man. My life without gays. I'm just saying.
Not completely. I'm still hobbling around. See, I hobbled back here just to help Steven out, and he just made me sit here and wait.
Yeah, he texted me and called me a bitch.
Like, wow, what a guy! What a guy!
Don't worry. When he has bigger YouTube channels on, he leaves me in the back because he's scared I'm going to just take all the thunder.
I really didn't see you there, bro. I'm so sorry.
Scott's like taking a nap for an hour in the back room. It's like,
all right, real talk. When Drunk and Mark were on last week, Scott was waiting in the back to pitch for the dump afterwards for like 20 minutes. And
not just that I was sitting in the back. You told me to come on and pitch the dump. And I just sat there for like 20 minutes just waiting. Then I was like, okay, I guess he's not going to have me on.
Yeah, he didn't know, Scott. And he doesn't have a producer, right? He doesn't.
Right. Us bigger channels have producers, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we all have our flaws. Stevens are just bigger than most.
Well, not really. Smaller than most.
Oh,
I don't know.
Hell.
No, that's his
flaws, not balls.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Culture Bros says, another thing you could do here, Culture, is swear. Go on,
live a little. even look, unless I'm really upset, I just don't. Those words just don't flow, man. I mean, there's no. You can get your point across as effectively and make people feel just as tiny as they are without
look who it is.
utilizing,
someone better than you.
Look at that. It's ETEP brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, man. Gosh, Steven was on fire last night.
That's a man with a real bald head. All right. That's what a real bald head
No,
is.
mine looks way better than his. He's just thinner and has a nicer beard and maybe better personality. I don't know.
I love you, Scott.
Oh, man. Yeah.
What's up, ETEP? How you doing, brother?
Morning, gentlemen. Morning.
The feeling is not mutual.
Wackadoochian.
Jesus,
You took my place as the bald guy.
This was a serious conversation when we started. I promise, chat. I'm sorry.
It was a good time.
I just wanted to pop in and say hello and delay watching Batwoman a little bit more because my PTSD is really kicking this morning. I was telling her, I was like, I'm gonna watch it. Last night after the show, I was a little bit drunk. I'm like, I'm just going to sit down and watch something I can fall asleep and not worry about. And I don't even know what I put on. I think I was watching Bob Ross, and I woke up at 3 a.m. and I'm like, I got to go to bed. And then I said, you guys are streaming. I'm like, I don't have to watch Batwoman. I'm going to jump on with them for a few minutes.
Has anybody watched that Bob Ross documentary? Pretty sad, man.
Yeah, really?
People just using that guy.
Oh, I didn't even know, dude. Oh, what platform is it on?
It's on the Netflix.
Okay, yeah, the Cuties.
I watch it right after I watch Cuties.
Oh, our chat is brilliant. Tox is on fire this morning. I love it.
Toxic Banana Flu says, I am not comfortable with any discussion about Culture Casino in the shower, under a waterfall, having a bucket of water dumped on him in slow motion. I'm going to dislike the stream now. Oh shit!
Why do I feel like that? That's like one of those like high end shampoo commercials with Culture, like just like flopping his hair back and forth.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, if I get to like 50K, you know how Drunk did the shower like thing. Mm-hmm. I may actually do one of those shower things because by then I'll be pretty jacked again, and I'll like completely go for the ham there.
Yeah, we're talking about you in a shower. I don't want to hear about jacking. Right?
Not that kind of stuff.
I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah. Well, look,
That's Steven Seagal said, find an honest producer, not one there for themselves, and it will be grand.
That's true.
It's very true. It's very true. Fat Steven.
Wait a minute, and that's why I have Culture Casino, because he actually cares to help me grow, Steven. He wants my channel to grow, Steven.
Yeah.
Unlike you and ETEP.
What?
I heard. What? I know everything.
Well, and Fat Steven, by the way, is an incredible producer. He's been able to help somebody grow.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, and I like I said, I mean, I've had the great privilege of knowing Fat Steven for quite some time. So, and I have to tell you, he's really found quite the niche for himself in the gaming stuff.
The moment that Fat Steven hooked up with Lorena, she just started taking off, man.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, it was meant to be.
I mean, her talent, she's very talented, and Fat Steven is very good at doing what he does. And Culture, just watch and learn so you can make my channel grow.
Dude. I'm trying, but I tried to keep you on time last night.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just don't trust ETEP or Steven. They're out to get me.
I trust ETEP. I like ETEP.
No,
you are really intimidated by his bald.
The trees told me so.
Oh wow!
Notice Culture didn't mention.
I see you looking at me in your beady eyes.
Well, Steven's like that pocket kitten that you can put in your shirt pocket.
Am I a Disney film? What am I?
Steven, you missed it last night. It was awesome. Culture's like, yeah, I tower over you guys. I can't wait to stand next to you. I'm like, how tall are you? He's like 5'9". I'm like, I'm 5'9". Steven, though, yeah, you will tower over.
Actually, I let me correct that for the record in the spirit of transparency. I was that tall. I am now 51, so I am no longer that tall.
There it is. See the density of, I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
Is that
baldness is gorgeous.
Are you getting shrinkage? Culture?
Is that you?
That is me standing tall. I'm almost taller than the refrigerator, and those things are huge.
There is an awesome live stream. Oh God, this is back early when the pandemic first started, and I was working in Virginia. And Scotty was there, and we got to. And he let me stay at his place down there, And yeah, we had a great time, great live stream. Nerd Cookies was there, Script, Lorena. It was funny. We had a great time. Yeah, lots of meat.
There was a lot of meat. It was I eat a lot of meat.
Yeah, good shit.
Sausage form.
That joke writes itself.
It really does.
That joke writes itself.
It really does.
Right.
Yeah, see, she's turned on by it.
Yeah. And you know what? God, is Rennie here? Because Scott, do you remember this one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man, that
was a long time ago. I love those. They were so great.
I miss those days.
She has a great sense of humor too.
She does. Yeah, man. Let's see. Oh, that Gothner is here. What's up, that Gothner? Good to see you. Hail.
Yeah, been a long time.
Yeah, been a long time. Thank you for stopping through.
Vistra said just watch Az's reviews. See, this is the thing. I do watch Az's reviews, but little do you guys know, I've been, some of these people might not know, I've been reviewing the show longer than pretty much almost anybody.
Yeah,
I've been reviewing the show longer than anybody.
Dude, look, I always give you props. I always give you props on that, dude, because everyone's like, watch this. No, you have been doing it since the beginning. Just like everyone gives Ryan credit for hating Baby Yoda, even though I was the first one to say hashtag Baby Yoda soup. Whatever. These bigger channels just steal our thunder.
Right, that's it. It's like mine. I enjoy his. I watch him and I watch The Rise Unlimited because they're legit funny, and I can really relate to their pain, which is why I'm here and not working right now. It's
smart.
It is. It hurts. And like I said, today we've got Professor Pig, so I can't wait to see how they're gonna butcher that. Ha ha ha. No pun intended.
That swine.
Fast Steve Skull says Tallman is coming back for B5. And he also said, thank you for the words. Yeah, man, anytime, dude. We support everybody in this community. It was
so fun having him on last night, Steven. I forgot how much fun Fat Steven could be. He could take over a stream, and I just sit back and laugh, dude. I laugh. That Raid Shadow Legend part, caught me off guard, and I literally, was laughing so hard I couldn't keep going with the show for a couple minutes.
That's good. Yeah, I see. And that's the thing. You lose touch with certain people because our indie sphere is so big. The fellowship is just gigantic.
So you know what? And I'll take blame. I sometimes forget to reach out. And he's a busy guy. I'm a busy guy. Just like Lorena. I love Lorena, and I talked to her maybe 6 months ago about having her on a Saturday, and she was willing to do it. And then we tried to hook up a couple times, and then it just life happens, and it's dang, I got to reach out to her again and get her on.
Life always gets in the way of hookups.
It really does. Steven knows that.
Fat Steven's
not ETEP because he's a pimp.
Toxic Man Flu says, I agree. Fat Steven is good at what he does. I hear male escort circles that getting a blowjob from him is called getting smoked by a fatty.
Oh, man.
That Gothner says she's still permabanned from Twitter.
That's what I thought.
Stop spitting truth. I guess you got to play the game.
It's disgusting, man. Yeah. Getting back to kind of seriousness, it is becoming an echo chamber with no more dislike buttons, and they really are trying to focus this on a certain mindset, a certain political view, and also being, if you are more corporate than anything, because they are really trying to get rid of the little guy. We talked about people are why is it a big deal with dislike? Well, these larger corporations don't want to dislike because if you make them look like fools, they take that shit personally. Us, on the other hand, we take it either as a badge of honor or as I got to work harder. But no, not these companies. They don't want to work harder. They don't want to make a better product. They just don't want you to speak your mind. They want you to accept, eat it, and ask for more.
Actually, that kind of goes into another topic we didn't really get a chance to talk about that I wanted to, since we got, the crew here. The removal of the dislike ratios or counters on YouTube. Who wants to go first on that?
I just did.
All right. ETEP, what do you think about the removal of the dislike counts?
I pretty much echo Scotty's sentiment. It's protecting corporate channels. It's not protecting small creators. And the only creators they're really looking to protect outside of corporate are those that are quote unquote marginalized that they want to push now due to their new, YouTube. Remember, was it a couple months ago they came out with that whole new diversity and inclusion for creators who are going to start getting pushes in the algorithms. That's who this is meant to protect. And it's a certain sect of those creators. It has nothing to do with ethnicity. It has to do with proclivities, shall we say.
Yep.
And that's it. And I'll go ahead and say it. It's a lot of it is based on your transformers and your other, shall we say, oddities that are roasted a lot of times for horribly bad takes and lashing out. But then when they do that, it's fine. We're not allowed to, speak negatively of that like they are of us, because, the properties of reciprocity do not apply to them, only to us. Yeah. And that's the caveat to this whole issue is it's not meant for me. It wasn't made for us. It wasn't made for us. Mm-hmm. It was only made for, for us to, they say we weaponize it. It's like, no, it's a way for us to have our voices heard, for people in general, not just us, but everybody to have their voices heard based on the content that they're consuming. And to take that away is, like you said, it's an echo chamber. You're creating more sycophants than there already are. And if you want that, you can just go on Twitter. Like I said, it's 4% of Americans use Twitter, and its leanings are as obvious as the big nose on my face.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with this. This is not some chivalrous move to protect the little guy. It's not. It's a thinly veiled psyop, basically.
Right. And you know what else, what bothers me is what they're doing is. They are you can get they're scared young and impressionable minds might choose the wrong way. Yeah. And it's not even choose the wrong way. It's make up their own mind. So now that we're protecting certain classes and certain people and certain companies, what you're doing is you're not giving different views on things. Like, remember, you used to be able to go on YouTube and find so-called conspiracy theories everywhere.
Yep.
But now they're squashing even that. So like freedom of thought is not allowed anymore. It is, you're going to take what we're going to say, you're going to like it, and you're going to ask us for more. And that needs to stop. There needs to be other platforms. I'm looking into what we need to do to get on Rumble, because Rumble to me is the only one that might have a chance of getting big enough to compare to YouTube. And even if they don't pay well right now, I don't care. I want some other platform that will allow me to speak. And people like Crowder have gone there and stuff, and Crowder's the biggest voice from the so-called wrong think in YouTube, and they're even trying to get rid of him. So what does that say about us?
Yeah, he doesn't say anything he's not Alex Jones.
No, he always has backup. He always can show you the proof.
And I'm not denigrating Alex Jones, because a lot of what Alex Jones has said, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're crazy," has kind of come to fruition to a certain extent.
Except for the frogs.
If you remove the hyperbole,
unless you're from New Jersey, then the frogs are gay, but.
If you remove the hyperbole from what he says, like I agree with Etep. There's a lot of predictions that he has made that have come to fruition.
Well, and that's we're teetering dangerously. And I saw Stephen mentioned it, the free thought. I mean, look at countries. I believe Canada, like over in the UK, quote unquote hate speech is an actual crime. It is, and it's not even hate speech half the time. It's your personal thoughts or opinions or comedy. Was it back in the day they locked up Lenny Bruce for jokes? I mean, that's thought police. That's 1984. It's Orwellian. Yep. And you look at just justice wise what we're doing now. Traffic cameras, surveillance cameras in cities. It's like we are living in the Matrix.
It's for your safety.
Yeah, we've sacrificed liberty for security, so we don't deserve either of them now. We don't.
Right.
And I said it the other day. Our republic has fallen. What we're witnessing right now is the dying days of a star that's ready to collide with another.
It's the end of Rome. It's the end of Rome, where depravity and so-called, we call it acceptance. And I'm sorry, I don't care what you do with your life, okay? But when society forces you to accept it, that's the end. Because people should have a right to say, no, I don't believe insert whatever somebody does here is right. And they should be able to have that thought. You don't have to agree with it. You don't even have to listen to it. We were always told growing up, Gen Xers were always taught, if you don't want to listen to somebody, walk away.
Yep.
You know, like, or just don't listen.
Yeah.
If you want to debate, debate. But this idea that you can't even walk away now because if you walk away, you're still guilty is getting out of control. Like we have to fight back on these platforms until they won't let us anymore.
Yep. And it's pathetic too, because it completely cuts off one side of the debate. But these people don't want to debate. They want to scream at you until you stop talking. That's the problem. And it's the days of walk softly and carry a big stick are over. Now it's you have to impose your will on them. You have to, because this one side likes to say, okay, well, this isn't fair. So the other side makes the rules, and then the other side that wanted the rules doesn't abide by them anyway. And the side that made the rules is like, well, maybe they'll fall in line. And it's like, no, they're never going to fall in line.
No.
You've given them too much leeway.
The yard line keeps moving for them.
Oh, they move the goalposts. They move the goalposts every chance they get.
Yep.
I have to say, it's not even finished when you stop talking anymore. Like, you're not allowed to just stop talking anymore. Now you must parrot their bullshit, or you're the enemy. You're not. They've eliminated the middle ground. Like, nobody's allowed to be in the middle anymore. You're not allowed to. You have to pick one extreme or the other.
Gays.
And if you, yes.
I'm sorry, and finish your point because I've been talking a lot. I'm sorry, dude, but you have a valid point right there. It's not even you. It's the silence. Used to be, for the longest time, we were like, okay, we'll give them that. Let's not say anything about it. Okay, we'll give them that. Let's not say anything about it. And you can't even do that anymore because they want you to bend the knee and admit you think wrong. So I'm sorry to interrupt you because you have a valid point there, man.
No, you're okay. It's just, it pisses me off because and I'm sure I'm not the only one here. Like, a while back, I walked away from politics because I just get sick of this shit, and it ruins people's lives. It ruins relationships. All these fucking arguments. But we've gotten to the point where you're not allowed to walk away from it anymore. You're not allowed to not engage. Like, if you're present and you're not a part of the conversation and saying what you're supposed to say, you're the enemy. That's where we are at this point in time, and it sickens me. It really does. Like, I know everybody should remain aware, keep a mind, be mindful of what's happening around you. But I used to be one of those people that was like deep in the politics all the time, like arguing with people left and right. And it's just, God damn, that's depressing. That is such a depressing life to lead. And I didn't want it anymore. I didn't want the arguments anymore. So I just walked away from that stuff and just did my own thing. Tried to focus on, more entertaining things, more happy things,
right.
And try not to bring it up. But we've gotten to a point in life where everything is political. Everything, no matter what you want, doesn't matter. There's got to be a political message here. And if there isn't, then we got to shout it down until there is. And it's bullshit.
It is. Yeah, absolutely right. Rye Kitty, who's been a longtime supporter of several channels and a YouTuber, please check out Rye Kitty, subscribe to that channel, and support indie creators, guys. Thank you so much. Let's see.
You got $5 super chat?
Yep. Thank you very much. Fast Steven calls it Toxic Man Flu, and I try to be funny. They're called stretch marks. Got thrown out there. Fat Steven Seagal said it's not a line or goalpost, it's a horseshoe throw randomly, and that's where the reality or standards move till the next horseshoe throw.
Well
Well
I like
said,
that.
sir. Yeah, well said, sir. Yeah, Fast one of the best, not only one of the funniest people we have in this community, but someone who is an intellectual and brings great person to have on your panel, guys. Great person to have in the community, Fast Steven. Mr. Tickle Trunk 4, Canadian $5. Thank you, channel member. Thank you for keeping the lights on. Appreciate you, brother. Hail the Dicks Division. Got Comics Division on this weekend at special time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Tried to get 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser on. I wanted to get the rogues and our people in our Rogue Fellowship that roll with Comics Division, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to be there. We will have Brightest Day on. Glad to have that. Zach is a great content creator. Please support Brightest Day. Let's get him monetized. Mr. Tickle Trunk says, we're at the point where sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me has been reversed in discourse, and it's only taken 30 years.
Yeah, names are violence.
Yeah, terms of violence. God, you can't, if you have an opinion, if you have a disposition, if you have a belief that collides with someone else's insecurities, you are now attacking them. This is actually a little bit of a difficult thing for me to say, but it's the truth of it. I went through a lot of bullying, both just regular bullying and racist bullying when I was growing up as a kid. It was so severe that it sent me to the hospital 3 different times, had me change schools, and really took the wind out of my desire for public education, my desire for education for quite some time. But at the end of it, I learned how to take insults. I learned how to take a hit. I learned how to deal with people who were aggressive toward me, aggressive personalities. I learned how to defend myself. And removing, I think that to a certain extent, removing, a child's ability to deal with bullying, to deal with jerks, because you're gonna deal with jerks all throughout your life, has really softened us. It's softened society. You have almost an entire generation coming up in this country that has been just isolated, protected, coddled by schools and by the media, and that also at the same time, mind you, dealing with something that we didn't have to, bullying on social media, bullying from behind a screen. So there is something to be said for that in as far as growing thick skin, but not learning how to stand up for yourself is softening people. And I'm sorry, words are not violence. Right. You need to learn how to have a strong mind. We all have different strengths and weaknesses. There's always going to be those people in your circle that can't handle certain types of harassments because they may have a condition that doesn't allow them to have that thick of a skin, and that's where supporting from your friends and your family come in, helping to delegate and deal with those types of things. But across the board, we are teaching an entire generation of people that if someone doesn't like that you're gay, they're violent. No, that is not the case. Everyone has the right to have their own opinions, their own dispositions, their own beliefs, their own standards of living, whether that comes from their religion or their family or their social group. Everyone does. And harm none, do as thou will. And words, for the most part, are not violence. I'm sorry. You guys go ahead if you want to say something.
Throwing somebody's junk from their mental institution stay at somebody, that's violence. Calling them a dick isn't. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, this whole sticks and stones thing, we all grew up with that. Like, yeah, people fuck around with each other all the time. And that's something else they're killing with all of this, the way they're framing everything. They're really killing social interaction in general. Like, you can't, you goof on your friends. That's what you do. It creates good relationships and forms bonds, and they're making it so like there's no bonds to be formed. You have to watch every word that comes out of your mouth. How are you going to have any kind of healthy relationship living that way ever?
If you never face any adversity, how do you grow as a person? And I work with kids. I'm a substitute teacher. I work at a school, and it's funny watching how they interact younger, and it's like you can see which ones are going to at an early age start developing those tendencies to be bullies. And that's like, I just try to curtail that now. And it's like, you just turn those into like teachable moments. Right. And you have to, there's punishment, but there's also, it's like, why are they doing this? You have to look into the psychology of it. And as I get to know them, it's like, oh, okay. So it's a lot of it goes back to home situations. What's the home like? Is there one parent, two parents? What is the support system like with the parent that's in the home? And a lot of it goes back to that. Some people are just broken. Some people are literally just broken. There's something in them that's not wired properly, that they gravitate towards that type of behavior. And I'm not used to this. I don't get to talk about this stuff much on the air on my channel. This is actually fun. But yeah, it's all psychology. And it's like, I find that when I'm arguing, like you're arguing with somebody online, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll go scan their profile, just get an overview of who I'm dealing with so I can know how to move forward with it. It's like, if they go right to ad homs, it's like, okay, they really have nothing. They have nothing. They're just lashing out. You know what I mean? Because my opinion, like I said, the words you see, they take them as like it's like the little guy on, was it South Park? Words are like bullets. If you don't give them any power, they pass right through you. You
had to bring up Walton's guest appearance on South Park.
Walton out there fighting Cartman. He didn't want to fight Wendy Testenberger. But no, it's serious. It's like Steven said, the whole world. I got picked on as a kid. I was a runt. You know, I'm 6'3" now, but I was a runt when I was little. I didn't hit a growth spurt until I was like 12 years old. So I spent elementary school getting picked on. Like my dad had to teach me how to fight when I was 6 years old because I was getting picked on every fucking day. And I came home and he's like, my father's a Marine and an ex-undercover narcotics officer. He's like, oh no, this isn't happening. I'm gonna, he goes, and he told me the one thing, the same thing I told my son, who's 6 years old. You do not ever start a physical altercation, but you have every single right to defend yourself. And I said, as long as you defend yourself and you're not being the aggressor, I'll defend you to the wall like my dad did for me. But there's a point in time you have to stand on your own, and it's kids need to learn that. They're like I said, the coddling, and I see that I have friends of mine that have 2-3 kids, and it's like they're raising them in a bubble. My son went through trauma that I would not wish at birth. I would not wish upon men my own age. Right. And it's like, so am I protective? Yes. But do I put him in a plastic bubble and not let him? No, you need to get bumps, bruises, scrapes, and figure life out. You know, that's the caveat to being a parent and being around kids and people in general is you have to know how to work with everybody. It's like everybody on earth basically is a psychologist, if you think about it, because we deal with people, we deal with egos, we deal with personalities on a daily basis. And it's just how to balance those interactions. And it makes you more self-aware if you're a student of it. If not, you just go through life blissfully ignorant. And I think that's the problem today is we have a lot of people who are just blissfully ignorant and they live in their own bubbles and they're just completely unaware of everything going on around them and they never bother to learn. So they're basically stunted mentally.
Yeah. Culture. I know you if you had a rough upbringing yourself, like, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, all you do is learn lessons along the way of life's path. And that, that's always the discussion that I try to have around this particular issue. You can take away everything that happened to you and hold that as a grudge and never grow in life and rely on that as a crutch going forward. So that sets you up for a victim narrative. And if that's your jam, so be it. But it's also how you kind of stymie your own growth as an individual. So, the fact that most of us acknowledged and still do acknowledge that sticks and stones will break my bones and YT dislikes will never hurt me is because it's the truth. And again, I mean, returning back to where we started this conversation, that's the problem with YouTube. I mean, everybody understands right now what this is about, right? It's not about bullying. It has nothing to do with that. It's just a convenient way for them to couch something that allows them to hide, their complete corruption when it comes to their promotion of everybody outside of the independents that got them where they are. And that includes all the so-called quote unquote conservative voices or people that don't agree with their particular politics. Because to be clear, social media, if it's not completely driven by, politically oriented, machinations, always ends up tilting more to the conservative mindset. It always has. Every single platform, including Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and anything that comes along, it always goes that way unless it's fiddled with by people who want to stop people from expressing themselves, because that unfortunately, whether it's people who are outright conservative or people who just share some of those values, that's the thing that is most popular. I mean, again, the people that consume things, the most reliable consumers, are the people who actually can also free think. Well, we've been demonizing free thinking. In fact, the whole government's telling you don't look too deeply at what we're doing. Don't it's very telling when you have the entire news media giving you the same talking points. They're completely corrupted, and that's why we are now we're in a corporatist government at the moment. And in order to break free, we have to break the bonds of how politics is funded, and we have to pursue the people who are corrupt. And unfortunately, not enough of that got done under the last administration, right? You know, and now again we're suffering for it because they know that, you know, this is their chance to put all of this bologna sausage into place. And I feel like, you know, there's going to be like I said, if you know, they're going to see a lot of pain at the midterms if they're not fortified. And again, there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on fortification going forward, not just here in this country, but around the world. And you're gonna see people say, look, if you want to try to put, you know, licenses and you want to put, you know, breathalyzers in every car in the United States, which I think is the stupidest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But if these are the things that you want to do, if you want to further intrude onto people's personal privacy, property, and every other aspect of their lives, you should be held accountable as well, which means everybody should be one person, one vote, which means requiring identification to vote should not be a what do you call it?
A problem.
Yeah, a problem, right? Well, I get, you know, I need to have my ID with me when I go to the bank. So if I want to do a business transaction at the bank, I need my ID. If I need to, let's say, pick something up that I pre-ordered, you know, at the post, right, and it's too big to ship, or it's at the PO box, whatever. Guess what? I have to have my ID. People don't just take your word for it in society when you have to prove yourself. Do you know what doesn't happen when you go into a bank? They don't just give you a loan because you say you're good for it and, you know, you say that this is your name. That's not how that works, right? Isn't voting more important than any of the things that I just described?
Yes, absolutely.
One would think so, yes.
Mm-hmm. Gaze, do you have any comments before we move forward? Because this chat is on fire. I love this community. Great comments.
Yeah, definitely get to the chat. Yeah, they got a lot to say.
All right. See, Richie Droop says, if your flight opinions are taken away, the only thing left is to fight. Humans shouldn't be fighting. Life is tough enough already. True that, sir. True that. Fast Steven Seagal says there are no sides if you don't acknowledge that one side's trying to start a war. Self-principles can be saved, protected, and passed on with respectable conversation and those willing to listen and understand. Absolutely. Bridging differences.
Which are getting fewer and fewer.
Yeah, you really are. And also taking about, you know, one of the things about taking away the dislike ratio, which is ridiculous. So that I love D-Day Cobra shared out a screenshot of the one of the White House speeches from Joe Biden, 16,000 upvotes to 117,000 downvotes. This is who the YouTube is trying to protect.
Yes, sir.
The people they politically back, the corporations, the bigger channels. That's who they are trying to protect at this point. It's not about the mental health of anybody. Shoe on Head even came out and spoke against this. She was like dead on point. It's, you know, it's about protecting the corporations. It's not about protecting the mental health of anyone, because if the creators can still see the ratio, then how are you protecting their mental health? You know, like that doesn't make any sense. The argument does not make sense. The Goth Nerd says they hate it when I expose the ones trying to bully me as far left or left. I haven't got much hate from the right. And for those of you that don't know, Goth Nerd is a trans woman in our community. And she has been standing up with us, which is quite, you know, considering the positions, considering the makeup of our overall indie sphere. And the grassroots backlash that really began it. We have a lot of conservatives in this environment, a lot of religious people, you know, conservative religious people in this environment, in our indie sphere, and it's been difficult. I'm sure for people who live outside of what they consider to be traditional norms to stand up and be counted, to speak their mind. And what I have been happy, what has made my soul glad to be a part of this fellowship, is that I have seen more people bridging differences and standing together for commonality, for the right to speak, the right to stand, than I have seen people bullying one another and being insulting. Hail Goth Nerd. Yeah, keep speaking that truth, honey. We are here with you. Larry says parents are labeled terrorists if they disagree with the school board, and that's disgusting. I love the story of the parents who I think it was in California. The parents that went in and just took over the school board. They just ejected the entire board and then installed their own people.
And that's happening, but that's happening across the country now. You're starting to see these school boards be replaced by actual parents and not these ideologues. Because guess what? All politics starts local. It starts in these communities, starts in your city council, starts in your school board. You're watching entire states stepping away from the National School Board Association because of that letter that was purely politic. And you're starting to see disagreements inside of various union organizations based on politics for the first time since I can't even tell you when. Imagine being part of the AFL-CIO, right? And the pipeline that is required, that it was going to generate a lot of jobs for people that are a part of that union, gets canceled, and now they're going to shut down another one.
That's
the union. If you're part of those unions, you should be railing at your leadership. Not only that, replacing them. Get back to like absolutely what these organizations were for, which is for the support of fair wages and appreciable safety measures. These are the things that real unions are supposed to focus on, right? The collective bargaining power of a union is in service to only the membership, right? And the biggest problem is the minute that somebody gets into one of those union leadership positions and has a particular political ideology, then they start to support candidates that have that political ideology. But let's be clear, if we've had all of these problems for 50 years, especially in certain states where the government has never changed, you keep voting in these same people because they keep talking about these same problems that they've never addressed. You're voting for the wrong people.
Yeah, like how long must it go on before people start to wake up and realize, okay, these are just talking points. They don't actually give a shit.
Yeah, they don't do anything, and they lie to you. I mean, I'm so frustrated right now. But back to the school stuff, right? You're 100% right. The parents were labeled bad people, and it was done by the FBI. He was called in front of the Senate and just basically set down. Right. And that's the thing, is these people don't realize the comeuppance they're putting themselves into. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm desperately trying to get everything. Matter. Yeah. I'm desperately trying to put everything together. But I look.
Go ahead and work, Culture.
Yeah.
I want to talk to the chat a little bit here. McInerney Draws says it was like last year during the GF incident where everyone on social media had to have a solid black square on their profile pics, and people were being lambasted for not doing it. Well, if you don't follow the hive mind, that's one of the things that really disturbs me, is some of the lessons that sometimes are not learned by those of us who have been through it, those of us who have been through this type of social media lambasting, bullying, from corporations, from our entertainments, from entertainers, from news outlets that will, they send hate mobs your way. Like, this is not how we do things. This is not how we should do things. I mean, there are good incidents, bad incidents, and there are incidents that take place in the middle. The last thing we should ever be doing is sending a hate mob at anyone for any reason. Allow people to generate their own conclusion. If a bad take has happened, allow people to see it and stand up and speak for themselves. But it's difficult when you're dealing with social media. Every one of us who has a social media presence, whether you're big or small, has a responsibility not to direct hate at any one person. You absolutely have the right to free speech. We absolutely have the right to stand up for ourselves. We absolutely have the right to point out differences or have our opinions on things. But generating hate mobs, that's not something we should be doing. The Islington girl says people here are big into complying their way out of discomfort. It's not going to work. Agreed.
Because they always want more. It's never enough.
Yeah. Exactly, Gaze. Exactly. Mr. Tickle Trunk says there's a lot of language associated with acceptance and pushing compulsion. I wish people would understand this and bring it up at any opportunity. Yes, sir. There is. You're right, because first off, there's nothing wrong. Oh, go ahead, Red.
I was going to say it begins with tolerance, right? And once
Yes.
we've achieved tolerance, then we must move into acceptance. And once we've achieved acceptance, then we must accept. Okay, now we're going to start forming a hierarchy. These people you have now accepted are now going to be strategically placed above you on every level of every rung of the ladder, right? And it just I don't know. I've said for a long time, every equality movement eventually turns into a superiority movement,
which it really should.
It should not, and that's why I'm not a fan of equality movements. Just, I mean, I'm all about equality, but as I think was mentioned earlier, I mean, I think we came pretty damn close to achieving that earlier in the 2000s. It was. All this division was reintroduced. Suddenly racism was a thing again, when it really wasn't. But what they're doing is by pushing this constantly, what they're doing is creating more racism where, it was that flame was dead. But they just keep stirring those embers until, they get a forest fire.
Well, that
no pun intended.
That flame was dying. They're like, I still agree that there are instances of racism that need to be confronted in our country, in my country, and I'm sure in other parts of the world. But the thing is, like you said, tolerance. You can stop at tolerance. If you get to a point where you're tolerant of someone else, that's fine. You don't have to accept them for what they are, but be tolerant of what they are and that they are an individual who is living their life experience how they wish to live it. I'm fine with that. We don't all need to hug on everything. But when you get to a point like Red was saying, where acceptance has become like Mr. Tickletrunk is saying, a compulsion to that. If you're a bigot, you're an absolute terrible person if you don't embrace this idea of another person's life experience. That's not cool. That is fighting against what you're trying to stand up for. Everyone has the right to live their life, have opinion, speak their mind, like what they want to like. Everyone has that right to do that on their own. And as far as the revitalizing the embers of racism, the dying embers of racism, one of the things they used as a weapon in order to perpetuate that was the idea that we cannot be proud of where we come from, or our heritage, or our area, or however you identify. And unless it's a sanctioned group that is being presented as a platform for compulsion, you absolutely have the right to be proud of your heritage, no matter where you come from, or aspects of it, or your culture. You absolutely have that right. I'm proud of mine, but unfortunately, the way that things have been painted, and like we were talking about this earlier with, I think Red was talking about this earlier, is that they take words and terms, and they're using them as weapons. They're turning them around. They're changing what words mean to fit the direction of their hate mobs, of their social media attacks, of the narrative that they want to press onto us. Just because I am proud to be a Celt, because I'm proud that my ancestors came from Britannia, and Scotch-Irish heritage, touch of French, and 1% North African, and that is all in my penis. I am allowed to be proud of where I come from.
No, but nobody believes that.
It's all in my dick, Red. That whole 1%. So thank you so much.
The percentage equals out to inches, right?
Yes. That's the DNA strand that came from North Africa, y'all. In my dick. Fasting Seagal said it's a hard road, but we will never have a logical debates with these types not wanting to respect change. Absolutely, and that's why we have to stand up for indie creators, people like Nick Ricada, people like D-Day Cover, people like RK, people like Drunk, people like everybody in the Rogue family, and everyone out there. Supporting independent creators is important. Subscribe to Riot Kitty, subscribe to Fast Steven, subscribe to Mad Barber, subscribe to all the comics division, to Nerdrotic, and all these people in our indie sphere, the Dark Council, hell, Midnight's Edge, these are the people that are standing up for these basic rights, standing united together, helping to rise one another to the right to have expression and for us to have our opinion, and support one another in the chats. Y'all out there, y'all wonderful people that come to our shows and help promote us and share out links and engage in conversations with us and back indie projects. Support your independent comic creators out there, your independent creators out there, because they're fighting against the machine too. We're all striving for a common good. And the one thing that we cannot do is shut down our ability for debate, to have a difference of opinion, to be able to confront that, to bridge understanding. We don't have to agree, but at least if we understand where one another is coming from, then we have the ability. We have the ability to create, to recognize our commonalities and not so much our differences. Islington Girl, thank you so much. You're a supporter of all our channels, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much for modding. There's been a lot of bot attacks that have happened to several channels, and they are going to continue on because this is how the extremists fight us, fight our voices, by sending bot attacks. The Dark Council, Drunk 3PO had mentioned this past weekend, the Dark Council last week, or the last time they aired, were hit with racist bots that were saying some of the nastiest things. One of the reasons that I support Abu Damajnai, Mark with a C, Fatal J, Lord Callus, one of the reasons that I support these men in our community, these decent men who happen to be black, is the same reason why bots attack them, and the same reason why that they are not they are suppressed. They have not been recognized for who they are, simply because of their skin tone, by those saying that they're fighting for diversity and inclusion, because they go against the narrative. A very diverse group of men within themselves, whose one of the only commonalities is their skin tone. They are being attacked by far lefties, by these bots that are saying the N-word and some of the most terrible shit that can be said to these gentlemen, these good men. So we want to make sure this doesn't happen. Scott's channel was attacked several weeks ago with bots. This is the revival of it. We're all kind of coming up together. Our voices are getting louder. We are fighting against the machine, and these are the types of attacks we're going to suffer. So I appreciate you, Islington Girl, and I appreciate all of the mods who help look out for bots and help look out for all of us. Thank you so much. Mirrorspheres Origin Scale. Subscribe to Mirrorspheres, another great person in our community. Met him when I started streaming on Culture Casino's Sunday shows. Please check out those shows. Culture Casino, bang up job, great producer, great friend, and Mirrorspheres is one of those people. Good person. McAnee Draws says, if you remain silent on an issue, you are promoting violence, and I unfortunately didn't have to deal with that bullshit, but it was the kind of crap that is why I personally won't support BLM. And that is your choice. If you, if you choose not to support BLM, that's your choice. You're not a racist for not doing it. If you choose to support it, that doesn't mean you're a racist. That can mean that you support the message that is being presented about that group. There are people in our own fellowship that support BLM. There are people that are vehemently against it. And all opinions are welcome. And I'm very thankful that we have that many different opinions and we have that many different dispositions in our indie sphere. Real quick, I want to slip forward because we're kind of getting on the third hour, and I don't want to keep everyone here that long. McAnee Jaws for $10. Thank you so much. Last summer, after the GF incident, everyone was required to have a black square in the profile pic and support. And if you were silent the whole time, it was considered violence. Yeah. Words are not violence, and having a difference of opinion is not violence. Only people with static views. Only extremists think in those terms, and that is the path of the Sith Lord. Now we don't do that. Thank you, McAnee. I appreciate you, man. You didn't have to send that again. I believe we covered that earlier, but I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Mr. Tickle Truck for paying $2 says, Steven, we always kid, but we appreciate you. Guys, I love you. I know we're busting balls, and I don't mind it at all. I think it creates camaraderie amongst us, and for me personally, it reminds me of my place. I'm here to entertain. I'm here to give my opinion and to entertain you guys and to have fun. I may play it off like I'm upset about something or whatnot, but I really do appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Thank you for being a part of this fellowship. We love you, brother. And did I miss any? I don't want to miss any more. The chat is on fire, so I'm going to catch a few more comments, and then I think we're going to close out. Miss That Steven Seagal says, I was picked on so much I had surgery to pull my ears back because of the constant bullying. Kids telling their parents I had AIDS and cancer instead of knowing what ADHD was. Oh, that's terrible, Fat Steven. That's terrible, man. But you got through it. You know what I mean? You got through it. You are here today. You are a part of a fellowship that is growing, and you are a critical piece of that fellowship. You have helped channels grow. You have been on. You bring something to every chat and every panel, my brother. So just like me, we went through a lot of stuff in our past, but we grew up stronger. We grew up stronger, brother. Let's see. Etep's got to head out, so I'm gonna let Etep head out first before I continue on in the chat. Go ahead, tell them where they can find you, my brother.
Over at Etep Queen's, the place to be reviews. If that's too long to remember, just search Pixar Moms with Dump Truck Asses. That's my #1 video. That'll pop up, and that's a great way to find my channel. Yes, that's my magnum opus right there. I review Batwoman and hate myself for it, but I continue to suffer for my subscribers. And we have live streams every Monday night, 8:35 Eastern, not on the Superstation TBS, over on my channel, with myself, my co-host Tony Tone Deaf from the Clown World Review, Vinnieart, and Red Gaze, the assistant regional manager. They're every Monday with us going through the pop culture stuff. Just having a good time in general. Wednesday night's my Rogue Show, 8:35 Eastern. You can come over after you're done watching the dump or whatever. Come over and hang out with us. Take that, Scotty. I love you though. I love you though. Let's see. Next week, Saggy Melons will be on with us, with myself and Tony Wednesday night, and Commander Cody from Pursuing Paranormal. I'm going to get Nick from Echo Base back on here in a couple weeks. It's been a while since he's been on too. He jumped in the chat last night. We had Jeff Hicks on last night from World Class Bullshitter. He's helping my buddy Oz, who Jeff actually illustrated 55 of the 68 pages of Everlasting Survivors.
Nice.
68-page graphic novel written by Donald William Osborne. Great book. We're getting ready to help him relaunch that soon. He's going to be on Indiegogo, and we want to get him in touch with Red Gaze and get him over on the Rogues Gallery, because he's a great guy and just a wonderful person in general. Made a great book too. So yeah, he wrote that all himself, and Jeff illustrated. Like I said, he did 55 of the pages for it.
Man, hell to World Class Bullshitters. That's
we got a great view of the new cover last night. Yep. So we got a lot going on at the channel. I'm getting ready to go type up my Batwoman review and watch the episode, as I've delayed the inevitable long enough, because this will probably take me until about 6 o'clock tonight to get that going and released. So yeah. So that's what I'm off to do. And then I've got about 4 or 5 more videos to record today to edit up and get released over the course of the weekend, because I have to go shoot stuff.
Do you ever punch yourself in the balls after watching Batwoman? Like, what kind of torture?
Or during?
Yeah.
Usually I hire a fetish hooker to do that for me.
Hell, brother. Guys, please check out Eats Epiculian.
Thanks,
guys. Put a link out. Link is also in the description below. Please check out Going Rogue on Wednesdays. And you can find him hanging around the Rogues. And we appreciate you, man. Take care, Eats Up.
Thank you. Have a great day, guys. Hail the chat. Hail this panel.
Hail, brother.
What's up, Eats Up?
Let's see. CJH says, I had to deal with harassment all year and had a hard time dealing with it due to my own problems. Only just recently able to deal with it by getting a cease and desist sent. Man, sometimes you gotta stand up for yourself, CGH. Don't take that shit. Channel member, thank you so much. CGH has been supporting us. We're the 4th wave. Hail to you, dude. You make a difference in this fellowship, in our community. Thank you so much for being here, man. Stand up for yourself, man. Let me know what's going on with that. And next time we're on the Rogues, the Rogues have been kind of hard to do. We had to change the showtime to 2 p.m. To 2 a.m. on Saturdays, because we're doing TWA. It's a collaboration between Rogue Entertainment and the Cotton Connection. But next time you're on, gonna get you a free tarot reading, bro. Just come on, and we're gonna do that for you, dude. Thank you so much. Riot Kitty says, my little brother's getting bullied, and he was taught to sit there and take it by his mom. Nah. See, my mom was like, don't be a bully. My mother, through everything, no matter what she ever felt or dealt with in life, taught me not to hate people based on their race, color, where they come from. And my mom also tried to instill in me the idea of being reserved and peaceful, but that didn't take. because I was a WASP kid from Swarthmore, PA, and and I got thrown into the ghetto by my racist father. I don't know how that happened, but my dad's no longer racist, but he was at the time. He said, yeah, I hate these people. Let's move into this neighborhood that's full of white flight. So I never understood it, but I am proud. But I am proud to say that he has changed his views. And one of the things, I've told this story before, and I'll just be real quick about it. One of the things that changed him not only was the example of his children who dealt with racist bullying, stood up for themselves, and managed not to be racist themselves, but it was also his love for Star Trek. It was his love for people like Nichelle Nichols, people like Michael Dorn, characters and actors that he loved and could completely conflicted with a racist ideology. And that's what entertainments can do when used properly, when used to unite us, like Star Trek used to do. Tina Bojan says, my mom has some kind of imbalance, and we've always been a family bully, constantly criticizing. Thank goodness my dad was a good role model for his kids and grandkids. Hail to your father. My prayers to your mother. And Tina, thank you for sharing that, man. It's a good. We need strong. We need strong parents out there, strong dads, strong moms. We need people out there that lead by example, and teach us to be good to one another. Thank you, Tina. Appreciate you being here. The Isn't Girl says my old school Irish dad gave me a talk at age 5. Oh, well, started early. I mean, you're talking about Irish. I'm Irish too. They don't take it. I have a half Irish, half German stepmother. And she that was a rough ride, but she was a very intellectual woman. And we went through a lot of problems. By the time I was 16, I was calling her mom, and I was proud of it. Let's see. So many good comments in here. Here's Keely Chow right here. We were talking about earlier. Does anybody still fly the Fandom Menace flag? Keely Chow does. We do not kneel. Hail the Fandom Menace. Hail Geeks and Gamers. Hail Comics Gate. Hail Rogue Entertainment. Thank you, brother. Hail to you. And Mr. Tickle Trunk says, hail Roll Tide. So, Horny Alf, good to see you. Love this group of creators. This is how we subvert the lefties and take over our culture. Absolutely, by standing up.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, my brother. Talk to Manflu says, I believe in the use of violence when people are trying to end me, and that is what liberals and religious extremists are doing. Without violence, there would have been no Boston Tea Party. Violence is the last recourse. But if it is necessary to defend one's life, then it's the road that has to be taken. The CJH for $5 channel member, thank you so much. Bipolar certainly hasn't made my life easy, but it has given me the strength, especially throughout this year, with my own harassment I've gotten from a local. My brother, we all have different strengths and weaknesses. We all deal with different things. I personally deal with an anxiety issue, and we get past it. We get past it. And as we do that with the support of our friends and family, and as we do that by learning ourselves and how to deal with those issues, we lead by example. And that is the greatest gift that we can give to everybody. Leading as good people, being good to one another by example. Hail to you. Rugo, new channel member, thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping to keep the lights on. Rugo, my love to you, man. My love to your family. Thank you. I appreciate you very much. And Riot Kitty says, although I will say this, my brother's mom is not invited if I get married. Oh, did I miss something? Did I miss Riot? I missed the first half of a conversation. I'm sorry. I don't know. I can't find it. I'm sorry. Although I will say this, my mother's mom is not invited if I get married. With the amount of grief she caused and continues for my family, she does not deserve to be at such an event. Well, sometimes even those around us, other adults that do not want to act, that don't want to come together, because there's common goods. You can have differences and come together for a common good. If an adult wants to act a fool, then you have the right not to invite them. First off, a marriage is a happy event, and you want that. It's about love. It's about unity. It's about coming together. It's one of those times like funerals and other events where people should come together for a common good. Many times I've had to do this myself. I don't like somebody, but that person is a good friend of my friend. Well, I'm going to treat them with respect, even if I don't like them, because I love my friend. And that is how we should all be to one another. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to all the super chats. Thank you to all the channel members. Thank you to every single person who's been here throughout this entire 3-hour stream impromptu. Thank you to Scott, one of the best dads in the world. Coming and speaking when he can. Guys, please send a link out for Sporking News podcast. I'm going to allow my panel to say goodbye, and then I want to talk about the end of Bonds, the Bonds campaign coming up this weekend on Saturday. Red Gaze, you're holding that stream, are you, sir?
Yes, sir. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was trying to set the layup. Sorry.
That's all good, man. Yeah, this Saturday at 4:30. We'll discuss this. It'll be 4:30 or 5. After Rogue Entertainment at a special time this Saturday, we're going to be closing out Bonds: The Drive for Good. Be your last chance to grab a copy. There's not that many left. We have limited quantities, and yeah, just hoping to get them out the door and get them in people's hands so y'all can see not only what an awesome writer or artist Katie is, but writer as well. Like, she tells a very good story, and that one is all her. So yeah, definitely check us out this Saturday at 4:30. 4:30 is the going with time right now, but yeah, it should be a fun stream. A lot of these awesome people are going to be there, and yeah, we're just gonna have fun and close up a very awesome project and on to the next, because Bonds 2 is currently being worked on. So
Absolutely, guys. Please check out Rogue's Gallery on Red Gaze's channel. 6:30 every Thursday. We were playing tonight.
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Yeah, we changed that up to synchronize with Tommy a little more with the collectible pass stream.
Awesome.
But yeah, it'll be 6 o'clock tonight, Eastern time. And yeah, we got two creators I've never actually met before, so it should be a good time.
I'm looking forward to that, man. I love supporting independent creators. It's one of the things Rogue Entertainment's mission is, to support indie comics, indie creators in our community. So real quick, I want to show you something. In case you don't know, Red Gaze and Nerium are creating, have their own studio, Blood Bonds. And please check this out before you leave. Thank you guys so much.
And that's just the beginning, my friends. We got a lot coming up. If you happen to pick up Sunsworn, Wings of Vengeance, there's a little pamphlet inside there detailing some of the stuff that's coming next year. And that's, believe me, that's just some of the stuff. We got a lot of things planned, a lot of things to do, and we're just going to keep it rolling, man. And be introducing some new properties as well. So yeah, stay tuned. And thank you very much.
We're looking forward to that. Rogue Entertainment is thoroughly committed to promoting good quality entertainment, good books, and that's why I have the team that I have: Red Gaze, Nerium, and Vinnie three of the greatest people that we have in this indie sphere. Thank you so much, Gaze.
Jesus.
Next, oh God, I'm introducing you next, Culture. God, I'm doing it.
No, I'm watching value disappear in real time.
Subscribe to Culture Casino.
No, yeah, oh yeah, no. Look, it's not. I'm not referring to anything here because obviously I already bought the book, but it has nothing to do with Gaze or anything that Blood Bond Publishing is working on. I'm talking about the market is having a day. Disney, and this is the main story today for the channel. So a little preview for those of you who are here. I'm writing the script around this right now as we've been talking and chatting. The Disney earnings has created the tsunami that the analysts have been predicting for a while. This is going to be the focal point of the conversation in today's video. Of course, I will make mention of it in the 6-minute daily, which is coming up shortly in about an hour and 20 minutes at very soon. I guess that's 11:45, no, 12:45 Eastern, 11:45 Eastern. I don't even know anymore, but it doesn't matter.
11:45 Eastern.
Yeah, so we're coming up on that here quickly. Of course, you know, we've got 14 stories to do on that, plus this video I'm scripting right now. So, man, the fall off overnight in market hours trading was over 4%, closer to 5%. Right now, during active trading as of market open, they're down at 7.72%. So they're down 13.45% right now collectively. This is one of the companies that you're going to see going downward fast. This all gets compiled onto the fact that, you know, we are watching the economic markets in China start to have their collapse. So guys, just be prepared. Take care of, you know, yourself by being well prepared for every circumstance. Just the basics are the things you need to cover. That's it. So.
Hail to that, guys. Please check out Culture Casino and also check out Sporking News Podcast. Link in the description below, or somebody could throw that out in the chat. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to him. Let's we all do this thing together. We all, you know, we're all working on this together. No matter what channel you got, no matter what you're doing, no matter what lunch table you sit at. God, I can't even speak anymore. I'm ready to get off. Thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you. See you. Check out Rogue's Gallery tonight. Check out Collectible Past on Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective channel. Link in the description below. Him and Vinnieart of Mello are doing a new show for Rogue. Check out TWA Rogue Cotton, which is going to be on Snow Dub Music and Entertainment's channel this week. We're doing it bi-weekly, back and forth, where we have you know, a different kind of Rogue. Just having fun, sitting around with its round table of women and having some fun. Thank you for all the support, guys. Sincerely, thank you guys for all the support you've given me over the last 3 years. No matter how long you've been here, I really appreciate you. And check out Rogue Entertainment this weekend, special time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Comics Division is going to be on this week. Also at 2 p.m. the following week, it's going to be Rogue Entertainment with Midnight's Edge, Andre and Tom. So yeah, check out all the great channels. The Dump on Saturday after the Rogue. Please check out the Bonds closing out celebration on Red Gaze's channel after Rogue Entertainment this weekend. We'll be promoting it. And remember, please support your 2 or 3 favorite YouTubers out there, content creators. Share out those links. Let people know that those voices are out loud and proud and standing up for all of us. I am author Stephen Walton, the Fandom Menace historian, born in the chats with my brothers and sisters, fighting for our modern mythologies. Wash your hands, wash your ass, be good to each other. Yes, suffer no fools. Peace.
Who had told us at a town hall, I think it was in